वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी गोपी जन वल्लभ यशोदनन्दन व्रज जन रंजन यमुना तीरवनचारी व्रज जन रंजन यमुना हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे जय जय श्री चैतन्य जय नित्यानंद जय द्वैत चंद्र जय गौर भक्तवृंद जय द्वैत चंद्र जय गौर जय जय राधे जय जय श्याम जय जय श्री वृंदावन धाम जय जय राधे जय जय श्याम हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा कृष्णा हरे 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 कृष्णा हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे जय राधे जय कृष्ण जय वृंदावन श्री गोविंद गोपीनाथ मदन मोहन जय राधे जय कृष्ण गौरांगताय जय गौरांगताय गौरांगताय श्री श्री गौरांगताय जय जगन्नाथ जय बलदेवा जय सुभद्रा जगन्नाथ स्वामी नयन पथगामी भवतु मे जय गौर हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल जय गौर हरि बोल जय जय प्रभुपाद 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 तिल प्रभुपाद गुरुदेव 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 श्रील गुरुदेव गुरुदेव पावन हरिनाम संकीर्तन की अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की धनराज श्रीमद्भागवतम की ज्ञानतिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपः कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरोः श्रीयुतपदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगण रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनासहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधाकृष्णपादान् सहगणललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च नमो ॐ विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्तस्वामिन्निति नामिने नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषा शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौरभक्तवृंद हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरये। नष्टप्रायेष्वभद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवत्युत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्ठिकी। कृष्णाय वासुदेवाय देवकी नन्दनाय च नन्दगोपकुमाराय गोविन्दाय नमो नमः। We'll recite the words again. One more verse we'll recite. Tatra tatranjasayushman bhavatayadminischitam pumsam ekantatah shreyas tanna shamsitumarhasi. Please, therefore, being blessed with many years, explain to us in an easily understandable way what you have ascertained to be the absolute and ultimate good for the people in general. Shall I repeat? Please, therefore, being blessed with many years, explain to us in an easily understandable way what you have ascertained to be the absolute and ultimate good for the people in general. So, here Prabhupada explains the importance of the Acharya. See, Purport Vishnu Prabhupada, in the Bhagavad Gita, Pashupad Acharya has recommended where 13th chapter, 8 to 12, in those verses. Amanitvam madam vitvam mahimsa kshantirarjavam acharyopasanam. See, there it is mentioned Acharya Pasana. The Acharyas and Goswamis are always absorbed in thought of the well-being of the general public, especially their spiritual well-being. Spiritual well-being is automatically followed by material well-being. For example, when you walk, your shadow also goes with you. Will you have to carry the shadow with you? Similarly, if you take care of the soul, the body will be automatically taken care of. For example, now you all are wearing a kurta dhoti. When you walk, the kurta dhoti also goes with you. Correct, huh? You don't have to separately carry it. Correct, huh? In the same manner, your body will be taken care if the soul is taken care, he's saying. The soul is well and body is taken. For example, Let us give an example. Now, before coming to Krishna consciousness, a boy may be smoking, drinking, and harming the body. Huh? But as soon as he comes to Krishna consciousness, one follows four relative principles. Huh? No illicit sex, no meat eating, no intoxication, no gambling. Because once you know that I am the spirit soul, I am pure, I am seated in this bodily machine, then just as you take care of your soul, you also take care of the body well. Huh? You don't harm the body, you don't hurt the body with damaging substances like liquor and smoke and drugs and all those things, or committing suicide and all that. You will not do that. In the same manner, uh, you put the body to sleep early. You rise early. Outside materialistic people, they say they're materialistic, they have a lot of money, but they don't know how to take care of the body also. Correct, no? Isn't it? They are hurting their body. But devotees sleep early, rise early. They keep their body fit also. Shariram kalu dharma sadhanam. Huh? Body is actually dharma sadhan. So they take care of the body, they take care of their mind, purify the mind by chanting, and they cleanse the mind. So they are very peaceful. Devotees are peaceful in their mind, and they engage their body, senses in pure activities. Rishikena, Rishikesha Sevanam. Huh? In the same manner, a man is supposed to see his wife, children, mother, father as Krishna's part and parcels, and they would protect them, take care of them. Mm. So, in this way, a Krishna conscious family is also a happy family. In case some family is not a happy family, then a person is not so Krishna conscious. Correct, na? One is Krishna conscious, whether you are a brahmachari or you are a grihastha. Uh, when one is Krishna conscious, one is controlled in the mind, controlled in the senses, then very careful to use everything in Lord's service. In this way, therefore, he says that if a soul is paid attention, body, mind, soul welfare will be taken care. For example, in those days, you go to any temple, there is always prasadam available. Like we used to go to Vishnu temple, they used to give one big ball of chakra pongal, vend pongal. Chakra pongal is sweet pongal. Vend pongal is saltish pongal. Salty one. So both they will give us in two hands, you can take one each. So we know that we used to be a group of 20, 25 boys, small boys. We used to go to the temple, circumambulate, and our obeisances take darshan. After that, we know what comes. You get it. So there was some fondness for getting that prasad also, and it will be made of ghee, very pure, and that salt one will be along with the miri also. That no, not what do you call it? No, pepper. Yeah, pepper is what, miri only. Correct. Huh? Gol mirchi, the round one. They'll put that. They'll put many things, elachi in that, many other things. Very still, it is taste is in that, in the tongue still. So very attractive. So when you go to the temple, in our Pune temple also, morning, afternoon, night, three times they give full prasad now, free. Anybody. Earlier we were giving simple, but now morning every day they are getting idli, sambar, chutney, or uttapa, or some days dosa also. Some days morning is breakfast, different upma, different things. But afternoon, rice dal, sabji, chapati, full prasad, sometimes sweet also. And evening also full prasad. And then there is also khichdi at the gate. Almost all day it is served. Morning also till 1, only 1 to 4 we close it. After again till night 9 o'clock. Why am I telling you this? When you go to a temple, everything is taken care. Your body is also taken care. Imagine if there's a beggar living near NVCC. He has no problem. Correct, na? Isn't it? Isn't it? 3 times prasad is getting. Take 3 times prasad. Take darshan. Chant your whole name. Go back to God. It doesn't have to do anything. Prasadam is available. So, in this way, body, mind, soul, everything is taken care. The acharyas therefore give directions in the spiritual well-being for people in general. Foreseeing the incompetence of the people in this age of Kali or the iron age of quarrel, sages requested that Shuddha Goswami give a summary of all the revealed scriptures because the people of this age are condemned in every respect. Sages therefore inquired of the absolute good, which is the ultimate good for the people, condemned the state of affairs of the people, and then is further described. So let us go to Morning we discussed about how to speak, what are the qualifications of a speaker. Essentially, what we discussed was the speaker should beg for the grace of the Guru Parampara, and not have a high estimation of oneself. The speaker of the Bhagavatam should think, I am very small, Acharyas are very great, my knowledge is puny, their knowledge is oceanic, and I need their mercy, grace, merciful glance upon me. And the Acharyas are all blessed souls, highly empowered, they are delivering the whole world. My ability to reach out to the conditioned souls is very small. Mm. I may technically prepare some lecture and deliver, but that lecture does not have the potency to transform the hearts of millions of souls. Whereas Acharya like Prabhupada, they have transformed millions of lives. So, devotee should be humble thinking like this, and also pray and beg for the blessings of the Guru and Guru Parampara. That's one thing we discussed. And also one should be a man of character, and while sitting on the Vyasasana, one should follow the four regulative principles. And one cannot be a man lacking character. So no illicit sex, no gambling, no intoxication, no meat eating. One should follow those principles. And and we also heard about how he should be in the mood of a servant to the servant, and he has to speak what he has heard in the Guru Parampara. He should not concoct anything of his own. You should not get some obscure meanings screwed out of the commentaries of Acharyas. You should repeat what he has learned. You should not override the Acharyas or neglect them. You should have respect for the audience also. So in this way, about the speaker, we said, let's hear about the hearer now. Read that.
And the hearer must first of all be anxious to hear, eager to hear, and not hearing simply as a matter of formality. Of course, at the beginning, we may not have any real enthusiasm to hear Srimad Bhagavatam, but you must hear as a regulative principle to carry out the order of the spiritual master. You must continue to hear every single day.
Yeah. See, in the beginning, it's very difficult to get new boys to come for the weekly programs. How many of you experience? Correct, na? They are exactly like this small kids. When mother brings food, they run away. You've seen that? Many mothers have this experience. Small babies, when they have to feed, they prepare some dahi bath or something. When they take, as soon as child sees food in the mother's hand, he'll run to other room. And they have to chase behind them and catch them and feed them. Even Yashoda has to do that. Even Yashoda shows the big moon in the sky. Anna, look at the big moon. Huh? He said, and then puts the food in the mouth. And he opens the mouth. So, in the beginning, all of us have experienced how much difficulty the mentors must have had in bringing us to Krishna consciousness, to take us for the weekly program. So, many boys, they say they will come, but when you go to call them, the room is locked. You go, "Okay, correct, no?" But once they somehow or other come for the program, hear the classes, after 6 months, 1 year, or 2 years, they become very stable devotees. Then they come running, asking you, they call and ask you, when is the program? Every Thursday we are supposed to have. Yesterday I came, there was no class. Prabhuji, is it postponed to any other day? They are eager to attend. Correct, no? As soon as they know there is some special event, they will throw everything to wind and they'll come. So which means as you keep hearing, your taste goes on increasing. Yatashanvato apaityaratir vitrishna satpam cha shuddhyatirena pumsaha bhaktir harau tat purushe cha sakhyam tadaiva haram vadamanyase chet. Like that, there's a verse. It says 5 benefits of hearing the Srimad Bhagavatam. First benefit, it says apaiti arati, it says. Your arati is apaiti. Your lack of taste is destroyed, which means real taste arises. But for that, you have to regularly hear Bhagavata. Like the sugarcane juice, keep drinking, 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 then the jaundice will go away, and then one will taste the sugarcane juice. Like that, the taste for Bhagavatam will arise when you keep hearing regularly. And vitrishna means your hankering for lust, anger, greed goes away. And your mind is cleansed. Sattvam cha shuddhiti. Mind is cleansed. Mind becomes purified. Bhaktir harau. And for Lord Hari, you develop devotion. And tat purushecha sakhyam. You make friendly relationships with devotees. You are not quarreling with devotees. Huh? These 5 benefits. What is the first one? Your lack of taste is destroyed. Material hankerings are removed. Thirdly, mind is cleansed and devotion to Supreme Lord and friendly dealing with devotees. These 5 things you get by hearing Bhagavatam. Yeah. So here he says that therefore make an effort to hear as an austerity in the beginning. It may be a little austerity, but when you do that, gradually your enthusiasm will develop, he says. It is a regulative principle. By gradually hearing Bhagavatam, we become eager to hear and anxious to hear. We should pray for that eagerness. And when we really want to hear the Bhagavatam, and we are willing to offer all respect to the person who is speaking, that means 2 things. Eagerness to hear Bhagavatam and respect for the person speaking Bhagavatam. Both are essential for you to immensely benefit from the hearing of Bhagavatam. See, when a very senior devotee is speaking, or guru is speaking, sannyasis are speaking, it's not difficult for you to respect them. But sometimes a very young speaker may be speaking also sometimes. Your junior may also be speaking sometimes. So how do you hear that? With great appreciation. Anybody has a clue? How will you hear one of your junior devotees is giving a talk one morning in your center? You're the mic.
Like when a devotee speaks from Vyasasan, he is not directly speaking. He is speaking in a disciplic succession. So it is like Acharyas are speaking through him.
You can see that he is bringing message from the Goloka to Buloka. Huh? So he is bringing message from there and they're delivering it. He is just like a postal peon, delivering the goods. Huh? Imagine a postman comes and gives you $5,000. Will you accept or not? Will you say you are a simple, postman? How can you give? You don't say that. Huh? He is just delivering a cover. You open the cover, you'll see $5,000. Correct, no? So even a young devotee can represent parampara well. Okay. What else? Any other reason? Yeah.
The main important thing is it doesn't matter who is speaking, like under the authority who is speaking. It matters what he is speaking about, what Krishna
Okay.
consciousness.
What is he speaking? Maybe sometimes in Pune also I have observed even very young devotees when they are going to give Bhagavatam class first time or second time, they know very well that most people may not attend the lecture, or those who are going to attend, you know, they may be thinking that is a very young fellow, what is he going to present? So these people, they work very hard. 20 days before they start preparing. Hear from various spiritual masters, make very good notes, type it. They bring what kind of notes? My God, even I don't prepare like that. I have seen multiple papers. One fellow had brought 5, 6 notes, one here, one here. And at one point he'll finish, and second point, another point from another paper. He has done a lot of research from different literatures, different lectures he has heard, made notes from different books. He brings many books also, notes also. So because why they are doing that? Because they know that because I am very young, my lecture may not be very great, but at least I should give something which will inspire the devotees. Correct, no? So one fellow had prepared a very good lecture from his own Radha Govind Maharaj's lectures. He had prepared. He delivered. Devotees are amazed. Hey, we never thought you can speak so nicely. Yeah. He said, I didn't speak anything. I just heard, made good notes, and I remembered and I recollected, he said. So in this way, young devotees can also give powerful lectures because they can hear powerful people and deliver you. Correct, no? That's one another possibility also. And also, okay, how many of you imagine you are sitting here and giving a lecture, you would like good number of people to come for the class. How many of you will like? Hacha, very few. All of us will like. Yeah. We all want audience to be there. Imagine, because you are giving class, nobody came today. You are sitting, Jayarada Madhava, open the eyes and see, there is nobody. Will you be happy? Because you want audience for your lecture, therefore you also should become audience for someone else's lecture. Therefore, that's the reason why you should be there. Because we also want to encourage others. If you go and encourage him in his lecture, tomorrow when you give, that fellow will come. At least remembering that I should express gratitude to this fellow. Correct. So, in ISKCON, Prabhupada has instituted Bhagavatam class. And so when a speaker is speaking, if seniors, juniors, everybody comes and sits, It is going to be encouraging to speaker. And then Krishna will powerfully manifest from the speaker. So, if we guys don't come and sit, how will people from outside come? Correct, no? Whole world is absorbed in Maya. So, we should know that it is one of your duties to come and encourage the speaker, encourage the other devotees also. Some devotees ask, Prabhuji, can I hear on Zoom? I said, you are in ashram only. Why Zoom? From there to here, you cannot come. No, no, Prabhuji, I thought I can little bit relax and hear. Relax means what? You'll go to sleep. So if you are in the temple premises, you should definitely come naturally. Even the congregation staying next to the temple, some of them are hearing on YouTube. Why YouTube? You can come to temple, walk down. In temple, you can smell the flower offered to Lord. You can take the Aarti lamp. In Zoom, how can you take Aarti lamp? How can you taste the prasadam? How can you dance with devotees in Zoom? Yeah. Zoom, everybody is like a black box. So, by mistake, somebody puts on the Zoom, you realize you are there in bathroom. So, therefore, directly coming is very important. Coming to the temple. So, we all should come together to encourage one another. Come together and chant with others. Come together and attend morning programs. Similarly, come together and attend Bhagavatam also. Yeah. In this way, junior lecture also you can hear. Yeah, read that? Where did you leave it?
Who is within our heart as the Paramatma, seeing that we are properly respecting his devotee and seeing that we are anxious to hear from him, willing to perform tapasya and make sacrifices to offer this respect and to hear this message. When Krishna sees that we have the consciousness, then he opens our ears and opens our hearts in such a way that the message can truly enter and change our lives and realization takes place.
Yeah, see, when you are respectful to the speaker, then your heart becomes opened. When you are eager to hear the message of Bhagavatam, then your ear doors are open. You say, see, now you may say, Baruch, my ear is open only. You may say, no. Yeah, attentive ear and an open heart. Attentive ear means what? You may be physically present but mentally absent. Imagine there was one devotee with whom you had a tussle and he is giving Bhagavatam today, for example, and you are sitting in the audience. You may be physically present just for the attendance sake, but our ears are blocked. You understand? Because we don't want to hear from him, but we know that seniors will ask why you didn't come, so you may come. So that type of hearing is no good. Open ears means, your message is going straight through your ears into your heart, and you're contemplating on the meaning, and you're liking it, and you're going to apply it in your life. You take those instructions very seriously. And similarly, open heart means you need respect for the speaker. Respect for the speaker and also eagerness for the message. Okay, some people have respect for the speaker, but they don't have eagerness for the message. Example is Chitraketu. When Angira Muni came, Chitraketu gave him an elevated seat, gave a big garland to him, offered him obeisances, gave him sandalwood pulp, gave him fruits to eat, and sat right below his feet in a crouched position and with folded palms, and then bowed down to him. But although he looks extremely humble, he was in no mood to hear any spiritual message. He only wanted one thing. What is it? Son. Yeah. He was materially attached to having a son. So Angiramuni understood he is respectful to me but not eager for the message. On the other hand, there are people who are eager for the message, not respectful to speaker. Like once Ravana was in Lanka, Narada Muni flew and reached Lanka. And Ravana said, "Hey Narada, come here. I heard that you have delivered many people like Prahlad and Dhruva and all these people, isn't it? You have given Raja Vidya to all those guys. And those who get Raja Vidya, I heard that they get a spiritual body which can never be destroyed." So he said, "Tell me immediately, what is it? What is that knowledge? I want to learn it." Narada said, "Is this the way you treat a guru? You're demanding from a guru. First of all, you should have tat buddhi pariprashnena." So you need to have the proper attitude. Ravana said, "I have never respected anyone." He said, I even stole this Pushpaka Viman from my brother, Kubera. Even I stole this Lanka also. Kubera was supposed to be ruling. He said, whatever I like in this world, I steal and take it. Similarly, I called you here. Tell me now, what is Raja Vidya? He said. And Narada said, nothing doing. You can't get it out of me. Then he took his sword and cut his body. But his body couldn't be cut. Because what was the body? Special body. Is it not? So, here, Ravana was eager for the message, but no respect for the speaker. Like, there was one devotee who was a very informative devotee. If he gives Bhagavatam, every 3 or 4 sentences, he will tell some new information. He will bring things from the West. He will bring things from the past, from the history, from the current political situation of the world. He will bring from science. He has a lot of information and little stories and snippets and episodes with statistics, everything he will give. But there was one devotee who was very envious of him. So he was also attending class, sitting behind. But he was sitting behind a big devotee. One big devotee was sitting behind him, he was making notes because he liked the information but he didn't like the devotee. You know? That means he is eager for the message but not respectful to speaker. So is he benefiting much? No. So we need both. We need eagerness for the message also. We need respect for the speaker also. Saying. Then only the message can enter our heart and change our lives and realization can take place. So the speaker should think nothing is mine. He only should be attached to Krishna and his devotee is a mood of service. Okay, read that.
When the speaker of the Bhagavatam sits on an elevated seat, he should never think that this seat is mine, because according to Bhagavatam philosophy, nothing is mine. The seat called the Vyasasan belongs to Ved Vyas and no one else. And as a viceroy on his behalf, the great avatar of Vishnu, we are permitted to sit there only on the condition that we absolutely, without compromise, repeat his words without adulteration and concoction. That was Sukadev Goswami qualification, and that is the only qualification that can be accepted. We are given respect when we recite Srimad Bhagavatam, not because of who we are, but because of who we represent and what we represent. And that is all of the previous acharyas and the divine sound vibration of the Bhagavat itself.
See, when they are giving respect to us, we should not think the respect is given to me. They are giving actually respect to whom? Vyasasan. Because the Vyasadev is supposed to sit there. So once when there was one sannyasi who was taking sannyas in Vrindavan, there were 3-4 sannyasis taking sannyas. So different Prabhupada disciples had come. There was Janananda Goswami Maharaj. So he was telling, when you become a sannyasi, you are awarded a BMW, he said. They were wondering, really? They'll give you a BMW car? He said, what is BMW? The danda has 3 sticks, body, mind, words. You are given the 3 sticks, which means you should offer your body, mind, words, all 3 in the service of Krishna. That is why it is given. So he was speaking that. Then his own Bhakti Maharaj was there. So he said, when you get a danda, the respect is given for your order. It is not given to you. The sannyasi comes with a stick, danda. Immediately everybody looks at that and offers obeisances. They may not even know what his name is. Correct or not? How many of you, sometimes you saw a sannyasi, you did namaskar without knowing his name also. Correct? Yeah. Because we are respecting that order. And he said, but if we betray the people and wearing the dress of a sannyasi, we do some blunder, mishandling woman or mishandling money, tomorrow people can take the same stick and beat us. Isn't it? It can become a shameful thing. So one should be, sannyasi should be very careful in that order. So we should not do anything that will bring disgrace to the Guru Parampara. Malpractice or maybe misbehavior. Isn't it? So therefore, The audience should give respect to the speaker, but the speaker should not think this respect is for me. Like a viceroy goes in his horse around to meet people, along with a group of army people, he goes. He collects taxes, but can he take the taxes himself? No, he has to submit it to the king. Similarly, whatever respect we collect from people, we should give it to all glories to assembled devotees. All glories to assembled devotees. All glories. Finally, say all glories, all glories, all glories to Sri Sri. And what about me? No, don't ask him. Don't ask any glories. Glories should be distributed, given to the devotees, given to Guru and Gauranga. In this way, we don't take respect. Amanina, respect all, but don't anticipate respect. So this is the mood in which the speaker should speak. He's saying. We are representing previous acharyas and Vedavyas. And we should know that when we offer respect to such a person, this is the principle that is being followed. Yeah, this I told you just now. One more thing is saying, one's disciples, one should never think that these disciples are mine. This is an illusion and that is an offense. Sometimes one may speak like that just as a matter of communication, with the limitations that words have in this world. But within one's mind and heart, one should believe that nothing is mine. Everything we do is on behalf of our spiritual master. Everything we have, we are offering to our spiritual master. Okay, one example I'll tell you. Say, one boy joined the temple and he was a brahmachari and he preached and he brought 20, 30 boys. And then the temple gave him a car, they gave him a cabin, they gave him a laptop to use. They gave facility for him to go and preach, correct, no? But after 3, 4 years, say this brahmachari want to change ashram. He want to marry. What does he do? He hands over everything to the temple. Gives the laptop, gives the car, and even hands over the program to the temple because now he is going to get married and look for a girl and he has to do a job and save some money and everything. So I'm busy. So now all these things are going to be given to another devotee who joins the temple. Correct, no? And the boys will be given to him and told to him that you take care of these boys. And here the same car, same laptop be given. That means these things belong to whom? Yeah, it belongs to the mission. It belongs to ISKCON, belongs to Prabhupada. When you are in that position, they are given to you for use. When you are out of that position, someone else is going to use it. And this is the way we can know that these things don't belong to us. We can know. Now, for example, the Prime Minister of India is allowed to use the Parliament House in Delhi. Big Parliament House, correct, no? Yeah, that's where he sits and all the MLAs, MPs go to meet him. Correct, no? And everybody salutes him on 15th August. Army, Navy, Air Force, they all come there to salute him. So that is the palace. It's like a gift to the Prime Minister. But can the Prime Minister sell that parliament to a sheikh in Gulf? Is he allowed? No, he cannot sell. Because it doesn't belong to him, but he is allowed to use it. That means he is custodian when he becomes a Prime Minister of the country. He can become a custodian of the parliament. But he is not the owner of the parliament. Similarly, we should know that now we all are preaching now. How many of you sitting here, you are mentors for youth? You are playing the role of mentors? Yeah, we have around 20, I think 20, 25. We have one, raise the hand now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Around 20 devotees, okay. And you all are mentors now. So every mentor has how many boys approximately? 8 to 10 boys? 8 to 10 serious boys, I think. Another 10 floating boys, I think, correct, no? Yeah. Say you have total of 15 to 20 boys you're taking care. So are these boys yours or are these boys belonging to somebody else? First of all, these boys belong to their parents, correct, no? Correct, no? Sometimes you become more than a father also. Similarly, after we should not say, I brought this boy to Krishna consciousness. You can't say that. Why? You offered him facility to become Krishna conscious. He chose to become Krishna conscious. Who? The boy. So he chose or you made him? Even Krishna doesn't make anybody Krishna conscious. Krishna provides Bhagavata and says, "Yechasi tata kuru." Arjuna, if you want to be Krishna conscious, you can be Krishna conscious. Arjuna says, okay, Karishya Vachanam Tava, I will be Krishna conscious. Correct, huh? So who Arjuna chose to be Krishna conscious or Krishna made him Krishna conscious? Arjuna chose. That means even if Krishna is giving free will to Arjuna to choose to be Krishna conscious, who amongst us can say that I made this boy into devotee? Is it not ridiculous? Huh? So we should never think. One fellow came to me and said, "Radheshyam प्रभु जी, हमने इसको भक्ति में खड़ा किया, लेकिन अभी हमको छोड़कर किसी और के पास जाना चाहता है, हमें क्या करना चाहिए?" I said, हमें क्या करना चाहिए? आपको छोड़ देना चाहिए. He was shocked. Then he told the boy, "Hey, तुम चले जाओ, बाद में बात करूंगा तुमसे." He brought the boy, but now when I told him छोड़ देना चाहिए, then he told the boy, आप तुमसे बाद में बात करूंगा. पहले प्रभु जी को समझा देते हैं. Then I told him, you cannot make anybody Krishna conscious. We can only give them a chance to become Krishna conscious. Is it clear to everybody? So therefore, once my spiritual master was in a flight, and then one very big man told him that, Maharaj, you are from ISKCON? He said, yes. Oh, in ISKCON there is one devotee called Swarup Damodar. He sings very nicely. I hear his Mangalarti. Huh? You know, daily I play in my house and I'm chanting few rounds, he said. Later on he asked Maharaj, which temple you are going? And Maharaj said, I am going to this temple. He said, I am also coming. I heard about your program, I am going to join. So he came and joined in the evening. Then 2 days later, when Maharaj was about to leave, the same man came and said, Swamiji, you never told me that Swarup Damodar is your disciple only. Maharaj said, he has accepted me as his guru. He said, it's not that he is my disciple. He has accepted me as his. So he has accepted, not that he is my disciple. So that I, me, mine, and that's a very wrong attitude. We should not become possessive. So, because if we become possessive, there was one devotee who was actually living in one temple and he was preaching. Later on, he was told to take care of one more temple, one more place. In that place also he developed. And then one small, eventually a temple was about to come. So he was told that, Prabhu, you go and take care of that temple, and here this temple will be taken care by another team. Sri Gaunatagi. Yes, he agreed to go there. But he said, I will take care of the new place, but I also want a share in this old place. Why he is saying that? Possessiveness is there. He want to continue, but they told you can come here for taking association and for giving lectures and all, but you cannot manage here because we have another leader here and another team of devotees are here. They will manage this and you manage that. Then there is a lot of tussle and pull and push. You know, the old fellow was telling, मैंने इसको develop किया है ना. You know, I did this, you did that and all that. Because these things, problems come because of मैं tu. Correct, no? I, me, mine. So we have to give up that possessive mentality. Everything we do is on behalf of our Guru. Everything. So what we should think, actually, when I go to preach, it is Krishna who is mercifully sending these boys. You know, because Krishna feels that if I create a Krishna conscious ambience, then Krishna will send some boys to come and take shelter of that ambience. But if I don't create a Krishna conscious ambience, like for example, today morning we did Harinam Sankirtan today. Immediately some devotees joined. And when we went around and sang, many of the Durga Puja people are doing, they were very happy. Seeing us, they were clapping hands, they were raising hands. Because Krishna is Durga's sister. Durga is Krishna's sister, correct, no? She's Yogamaya, potency. And there are many, many pastimes in relation to Krishna and Durga. Krishna orders Durga to transfer Balaram from Devaki to Rohini's womb. And he's telling you and me, we both will be born as brother and sister in Nanda Gokulam. So that also he says, they're born together. And who is Durga? Durga is the expansion of Subhadra. And Subhadra is who? Krishna's sister. Krishna, Balaram, both brothers are sitting, and in between their sister is sitting. Who is that? Subhadra. And Durga is Subhadra's expansion. So there was one great devotee of Durga called Chandidas. Huh? This Chandidas daily used to offer flower from his garden to Durga. And his brother asked, hey, can you give some flowers for offering to Krishna? He said, right, you cannot touch this. These are only meant for Durga. So one day his brother stole some flowers from his garden and took it for Krishna's worship. So this Chandidas became angry on his brother. Hey, I told you cannot touch it. How did you steal it? Then that day when he went to worship Durga, Durga said, why are you so angry with your brother? In fact, water flowers he has offered to Krishna, that you can offer it to me. She said, you are shocked. What are you saying? How can flower offered to somebody be offered to you? She said, I want the Mahaprasad. What is offered to Krishna? Go and bring it. And then she said, just as you consider your brother a devotee of Krishna, I am also a devotee of Krishna. I am Krishna's sister. From that day on, Chandidas became a devotee of Krishna. And he wrote such amazing poems that even Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu quoted it many, many times. He became a great devotee. So, when we are going on Harinam, we should think Durga Mata will be very happy seeing all devotees chanting and dancing. That, the holy name. And because Durga Puja is a very special occasion, here in Kolkata, if you do Harinam Sankirtan, so many people will know. So many people will appreciate. Many have holidays also now, correct? No? So in this way, you create an ambience and immediately people come. And Prabhupada has taught us how to create a spiritual ambience. We just have to do it. And people come, we should think they are all Prabhupada's. Krishna has sent these devout living entities, and they have to be connected to Srila Prabhupada. And Prabhupada and Guru Parampara will deliver them. Who am I? I am just a postal peon. I am like a middleman. I can only connect people to them. If I somehow connect people to Prabhupada's books, they may read and become devotees. Correct, no? One should think like that. There was one devotee in Ahmedabad, Murli Manohar Prabhu. He used to cook prasad in his home. And he used to serve people. He was actually doing a catering kind of thing. So IIM was very near to him, IIM Ahmedabad. So he took trouble to go to the hostel and call the boys and say that I gave lunch. And for students, he gave a concession also. And a lot of IIM students started coming. And they were taking prasad. And some 5-10 of them became devotees also. Because when they would come to his house, they will hear the kirtans. They picked up some Prabhupada books. Some of them read the books and they became devotees and they chanted. Which goes to show that even if you give access to people to the holy name, japa, and Prabhupada books and prasad and deity darshan and festivals, people pick up devotion service. It's not that we make somebody a devotee. I made him a devotee or something, correct? No? Because divinity is, according to, Bhaktivinoda Saraswati Thakur says that their natural discretion is devotion to Krishna, all living entities. It's naturally there in the jivas. You just have to unfold it. Yeah. I read that.
As soon as we think something is yours or mine, that means we are keeping it for ourselves. And that means we are in Maya, we are in illusion. If we are offering everything to Guru Maharaj and through him everything is ultimately being offered at the lotus feet of Shri Radheshyam Sundar, then we can claim no proprietorship and have no attachment for anything of this world, save and expect service.
Save and accept service. Save and accept service. We only can be attached to what? I got my seva. I want to do loving service, that's all. No other attachment, yeah. And then yellow one you read it? Whether he is a disciple or
Whether he is a disciple or whether he is disciple, engaging in service as a guru or as a pujari or book distributor or preacher, we must know that we are simply representatives and that we have no claim to proprietorship over anything.
even the knowledge we are speaking is not our property. One boy, he passed out of the college, went to some remote place for a job where there were no devotees, no ISKCON also. So he went to a college and started giving devayas and Then he started giving weekly programs. And in 1 year period, he got about 20 boys chanting 4 to 8 rounds. Then he wrote a long letter to me. Prabhu, I cannot explain to you what a miracle has happened here. He said in just 1 year period, boys have come to 4 to 8 rounds. Almost 15 to 20 boys. And this is a very remote place. I am the only devotee here and I am going and preaching. I think something like what Prabhupada did in New York, I think I have done here, Prabhu. Such miracle. Krishna is doing some magic through me. Then I told him, see, you are thinking too high about yourself. See, when Prabhupada went to New York, he delivered the hippies. Are you delivering hippies? Plus, at that time, Prabhupada started Krishna consciousness totally new. Now, the knowledge you spoke, where you got it from? From Prabhupada books? How did you know how to wear tilak? Prabhupada taught you. How do you know how to wear kantimala? Prabhupada taught you. Even the dhoti kurta you wear, you learned it in ISKCON only. How to wear dhoti kurta, like how to dance, how to worship the deities, how to cook bhoga and offer to Krishna. A to Z. Everything you learned from Prabhupada, and you are already claiming to be another Prabhupada? Huh? Just see. This fellow is thinking himself like a self-evident acharya, you see, no? Imagining. So too much pride is not very good like this. Then he asked me, then what should I think, Prabhuji? I said, oh, you should think that you are just a postman who is taking everything from Prabhupada and ISKCON and delivering it to the boys. You are simply a middleman, that's all. Like a postman, nothing more than that. That's all, Prabhu? He said, yes, that's all. Nothing more. That's all. And Prabhupada himself says, what is he? If Prabhupada is postman, who are we? We are actually assistant to assistant to assistant of postman. Correct, na? Yeah. So even the knowledge you are speaking, it's a borrowed knowledge from Krishna. All your knowledge, it's Krishna's knowledge. And we only have the right to hear it submissively on the order of our Guru and to distribute it humbly to others. Temple president, counselor, Guru should not think, these devotees are mine. They should not think. If you're attached to any of these things of the world, we cannot be attached to Krishna. We will lose out on Krishna. Why we are not developing attachment to Krishna? Because we've been attached to many other things in this world. That's what he's saying. We cannot ever neglect the external principles of Vaishnava etiquette, but we must also understand the consciousness in which they are performed. Etiquette is not simply, see here he is saying, etiquette is not simply something very superficial and external. Vaishnava etiquette is not simply a matter of offering a person a seat, but also very internalized meditation on how we approach Krishna. One example I'll tell you. One sannyasi was coming by flight at 12:30 at night. So because I'm a president in Pune, I can keep observing things. So one devotee came to our manager and said, Prabhu, I came to know, so-and-so sannyasi is coming to Pune. For the first time he's coming. Prabhuji, please, I beg the opportunity to go to airport and I want to go and receive him. So he took Radharani's garland, special garland, and he took some Mahaprasad, and he got his schedule of programs for 3 days printed so that he can give him a hard copy in the hand. So he took all these things and he arranged the best of the cars, biggest cars possible, very comfortable car, everything arranged. And he went to the airport, 12:30 he waited. He reached at 12 o'clock only, half an hour he waited. And Maharaj came, he garlanded him. He arranged for 2-3 devotees with him to do kirtan. He garlanded him and gave him the schedule and brought him and glorified him. Maharaj, I'm hearing your lectures regularly. I'm immensely benefited and everything. He spoke to him. And then he brought him, by the time he retired to bed, it was 1:30, 2 o'clock. He came to temple. And next 3 days, this devotee was fully engaged in serving the sannyasi. He cooked for him, he cleaned his room. He went with him to all the programs, wherever he went, because he had developed attachment for that Vaishnava, attachment like that. So now, in another time, another sannyasi was coming at 11 o'clock at night. And the manager caught one brahmacharya and said, Prabhu, We have fixed you for going to receive that sannyasi. What, Prabhuji, 11 o'clock at night? You know, क्या प्रभु जी सोने का टाइम में ये लोग आते हैं? ये वैसे नहीं, सोने नहीं देते हैं हमको. Hey, don't say this, it's a sannyasi. It's a Prabhupada disciple. He said, अरे कोई भी हो प्रभु जी. इतने प्लेन होते हैं, दिन में क्यों नहीं आते हैं लोग? He is already cursing. And then he asked, प्रभु जी मुझे छोड़कर कोई नहीं मिला आपको मंदिर में? प्रभु जी सर हमने ट्राई किया अलग अलग लोगों को, सब लोग इधर गए हैं, ये इधर गए हैं, उधर गए हैं. क्या प्रभु, सब लोग भाग जाते हैं हमको छोड़कर. अगर पहले पता चलता तो हम भी जाते थे. ठीक है मैं जाकर आता हूँ. Then he went. The flight was coming at 11 o'clock, and he thought that, by the time he comes out with all luggage, it will become 11:15. Correct? Now, generally it takes time to come. But Indigo people always come 15 minutes early. Yeah. So the flight came at 10:45, and at 11 Maharaj was out. And this fellow reached at 11:15. And the Maharaj calling the temple. Hello? Who is there and who will pick up late at night? It's very difficult. He tried different numbers. And then his assistant was there. He booked a car. So, and this fellow, when he went at 11:15, driver is driving the car, he is sleeping behind this thing. And after reaching the airport, driver, he was shaking. Prabhuji, aage, ud jao. And he looked at the clock, it's 11:15. When he entered the airport, Maharaj was not there. Because he had booked the outside car and left for the temple. Then he waited for 10-15 minutes and checked the flight has come. Why he has not come? He called the temple. पता नहीं महाराज चेंज हो गया लगता है प्लान. आए नहीं. वो लोग बोले आए नहीं, इधर आ गए ऑलरेडी. अरे इधर आए बिना मंदिर में कैसे आए? Then the temple devotee scolded him that you should always go half an hour early in advance. Because his heart was not in seva. So he did not do that service properly. Understand, no? So that is the point here. He is also taking garland from the temple. He is also taking a vehicle and going. Externally looks the same, but attitude is different. So that means the etiquettes also are associated with some consciousness behind there, which is very important. You cannot just make a superficial show of this thing, external etiquettes. That's not enough. Yeah. Like, for example, we are singing the morning aartis and chanting the holy name. The more you become evolved in spiritual life, you will see that the background consciousness becomes bigger and bigger. The thought becomes very loud. Loud thought about whom are you addressing, what are you addressing, the feelings, the consciousness, those things become, if it doesn't become increased, then it is the external ritual. External ritual cannot satisfy you. It will become boring. It will become burdensome. It can become very troublesome. We may think, oh, well, I am supposed to do this. Okay, I will do it. Oh, they will take attendance, they'll catch me and things like that. But when can you love an activity? When that ritual is performed with consciousness. Recently, I was speaking on this. Let me just check it whether I'll just check it. This is another one, ritual versus essence. This is the one, Dasi. See, Dasi formula to make routine devotional rituals into loving devotional service. So, that lecture starts at DASI. You know what is Dasi? Dasi is detachment from Maya, attachment to Krishna, servant of the servant, taking shelter of internal potency. That is Dasi. So we cannot ever neglect the external principles of Vaishnava etiquette, but we also must understand the consciousness in which they are performed. So therefore we call it loving devotional service. You're offering flower to the deity. Very lovingly one should offer. Huh? See, how can you lovingly offer to Gaurnitai? For that you need to know some pastimes of Gaurnitai. Correct, no? You read the Chaitanya Bhagavad, Chaitanya Charitamrita, Chaitanya Mangal. Huh? Read these literatures, hear the lectures. The more you know about these two personalities, what kind of personalities they are, huh? With that background awareness, you offer the flower, then the background consciousness will be powerful. Huh? And then go ahead. Okay. So here, okay. So they are praising. First, he's honoring Sudha Goswami for his good fortune and his empowered respectability. And then he's begging him to kindly speak the Bhagavatam. See, one question has come here. See the question? Read it.
Sometimes when we are listening to Srimad Bhagavatam from the speaker tries to give elaborate descriptions on the purport, and he tries to bring in his own examples and experiences. And sometimes we experience the examples taken by the speaker are not very suitable. Then what should be the consciousness of the listener? It states here that one should be very humble while the Srimad Bhagavatam is being spoken.
Answer.
The most important thing is that the examples being given are in the spirit of giving a deeper understanding of the subject at hand. It does not obscure that message, nor does it divert one's attention away from that message. Srila Prabhupada explains here that the subject matter should be spoken so nicely that he can present the matter for the particular circumstances in a suitable manner. So that is what is the most important. That is according to time, place, and circumstance. Srila Prabhupada explained we should speak according to our realizations. If we speak a particular experience or use a particular analogy and it truly does give the hearers or a practical, deeper understanding of the message, then it is to be accepted and it is to be appreciated.
Correct. Now I was giving a few examples. Huh? Right attitude and wrong attitude. Correct now? Now, these examples are from real life I'm giving you. Huh? But they fit the particular discussion in hand. That means following external etiquettes should be accompanied by a background consciousness. That's the theme we discussed. So we can give examples from real life, provided they exactly suit the concept in hand. Huh? It shouldn't happen that sometimes we bring some stray examples from recent news or things like that, which have no relevance to the topic in hand. Sometimes people bring just for the sake of telling the world that I know the information. Huh? So we should not just give some information. Go ahead.
That is relatively subjective. We should not speak anything offensive. If a person is giving his own concrete ideas, then that should not be tolerated.
For example, sometimes people on the seat, Vyasasan seat, they criticize politicians. Huh? They sometimes criticize political laws made by some government leader. Uh, Sometimes they praise one party and they criticize another party. Huh? So those things cannot be done sitting here because you are supposed to treat everybody as a soul part and parcel of Krishna. Huh? You cannot take to any political side and all. You can't talk politics. You cannot talk. There was one speaker who came to Pune. Was looking very tall and very fair and very handsome looking. So one devotee saw him coming in the morning. He thought maybe looks like a very evolved devotee. So he took him to the program in the evening. And he sang more than 5 to 6 cinema songs in his lecture. And audience was happy, clapping hands. Because they also knew they sang along with him also. So the speaker, the preacher, devotee who took him to his program, he was crying. The next day morning he came and told me, Radheshyam Prabhu, I did a big blunder by taking this fellow. And he is singing cinema song and they are also singing along with him. Both are enjoying, only I was crying. Then he said, I asked the speaker, Prabhu, you are a Krishna conscious devotee, wearing devotee dress and looking like a devotee, nice tilak, you are wearing everything. How is it that instead of speaking from Prabhupada's books, you are singing cinema songs and all in between? He said, what to do, Prabhuji? I am not reading much. I'm not. So these are things which I knew before coming to Krishna consciousness. I'm singing. So then I told this devotee, never put anybody here on this seat unless you know who they are. Correct, no? At least you talk to him 1 hour and see. Tell him to speak 1 hour, what he knows, you will come to know. Prabhupada says when a person opens his mouth, you come to know who he is. Prabhupada says, no? A sick man is known by his symptoms. A rich man is known by his symptoms. What car he travels, what dress he wears, what food he eats, what social circle he connects with. A rich man is known. Similarly, if you want to know a devotee, a fool is undetected until he opens his mouth, Prabhupada saying. Correct, no? So, therefore, if somebody is speaking anything offensive about other living entities, some people criticize other religions very badly. Some people criticize politicians. Some people criticize women, or some people, they criticize the neighborhood country. So, on the other hand, they can be offensive to some people. Sit in Vyasasana and speak a lot of management. Because whatever management they want to implement in the temple, they speak here, from here. Sometimes speakers in the voice also, sometimes, if they think that the voice is not very clean, when they give the class, half the class will be on cleanliness topic. Or if they feel the devotees are lazy, half the class is about don't be lazy. So this is not a platform to promote your policies and your ideas and all. Vyasasan, we should speak what is there in the purport. We should elaborate on that. Yeah. Should not be offensive. And then activities can be performed while hearing Bhagavatam. Okay. There is another question about while hearing Bhagavatam, can we make garlands or cutting vegetables and writing Mahamantra and embroidery? What Maharaj is saying, writing Mahamantra, what is the use of writing if your mind is not completely engrossed in that activity? He's asking. But as far as making garlands or cutting vegetables or making embroidery, these activities do not completely absorb one's consciousness. They are basically very simple physical activities. And many people can hear Srimad Bhagavatam far better if they are doing these things. Because some people's hands need some engagement. Like we went for yatra, sitting under a tree, spread out, crowd. Some people are taking some sticks and breaking and doing you've seen that? Are taking some stones, breaking the stone. If you don't allow them to do that, they'll be pinching the neighbor. So some people have a very fidgeting hand. So in Bhagavatam, if you tell them to cut vegetables, they are very happy. Thank you, Prabhu. Because at least they got some engagement. Along with that, they can also hear some Bhagavatam also they can hear. Correct, no? They do far better in hearing. For some people, if you tell them like a good boy, you just sit like this, and hear the Bhagavatam. That's not possible for everybody, Some people can do that, but not everybody. Now you all have, increased your hearing stamina over how many years? 3 years or 2 years? 3 years, huh? How many of you are 3 years in Krishna consciousness? You came in the first year itself, you came. Okay, how many of you are 4 years? Okay, how many of you are 2 years full? 2 years you completed, okay. How many of you are 1 year in Krishna consciousness? Okay. So, in this way, as you grow, your stamina also will increase. But otherwise, some activities is good only. Cutting vegetables or making embroidery or making garlands. It is better to hear in that way than to be falling asleep or to be leaning against the walls with your mind wandering. It's only proper. Then how to correct the mistakes of a speaker, he's asking. He's saying it depends on circumstance. If it is a serious deviation, then for the sake of others who are attending, we can challenge or correct or inquire deeper into that particular deviation. If it is a slight deviation, then it is better that we may ask a question at the end to clarify it, or speak to that person afterwards and try to give him a higher understanding. One example I'll tell you. Recently, one devotee was giving my lecture, and he was telling, the Supreme Lord is so merciful. As per the devotee's desire, he appears in different forms, he said. Like some people like the Lord to be a serious Lord and truthful Lord and honest Lord, and who is always Dharmaparayan Lord. So then Lord comes as Rama, correct, no? Rama is a straightforward Lord. And some people like the Lord to be playful, mischievous, joyful, sportive. Then Lord comes as Krishna, correct, no?
And some people like the Lord to be very mighty and powerful. He comes as Nrsimha, huh? Isn't it? Just tears the belly of Hiranyakashipu, isn't it? Lord comes as very mighty Lord like that. So Lord comes in various forms, ferocious forms, or a truthful form, or a sportive form. Like that he comes in different ways. And some people like the Lord to be very cool-headed and, peaceful and relaxed. So Lord comes like Narayana, lying in the Anantashe, snake bed. So Lord is pleasing everybody as per their wish. So Lord appears in different forms, and different people may worship Him like that. And all this worship are ultimately to be appreciated and accepted like that. He was speaking and concluded the class. And I felt that his conclusion is not totally complete. I asked him a question. If you say so, Prabhu, then what about Ganesh Chaturthi? People are worshipping Ganesh. Durga Puja, people are worshipping Durga. And different devatas. You say the Lord can be worshipped in any form. They think these are also other forms of the Lord. They think like that. Huh? Is it correct? Then he said, no, not exactly. Then he said, there are forms of the Supreme Lord. Then there are forms of the other devatas. One has to distinguish. So when you say Krishna, all-inclusive definition of Krishna means you can even worship a stone or a tree or anything. Some people say like that, which is wrong. All-inclusive it is. And exclusive means some people say you should worship only Krishna. If you see Gorakhpur Press, Bhagavad Gita, only Krishna will be standing alone there. Poor Krishna, no one around him. Yeah. And that is too much exclusive. So should we worship exclusive Krishna or all-inclusive? Both of them are wrong. Krishna means Krishna, his expansions, his associates, his devotees, his paraphernalia. So all these things are worshipable. So very beautifully Rupa Goswami has explained this. Anukulyena Krishna, Anushilanam. There he explains that. That means Krishna's expansions like Mahavishnu, Garbhadaksha Vishnu, Kshirodaksha Vishnu, they are Vishnu Tattva, Rama, all these forms. And there are direct forms of Lord Krishna like Rishabhadev, direct form, Kapila, direct form, or Vitthal. Vitthal is Dwarkadish, like that. Balaji, Ranganath, they are all directly Lord Krishna only. So in this way, Swamsha are all worshipable. Vibhinnamsh are all servants. Like we are all Vibhinnamsh. So these differences should be known. So whenever the speaker is leaving some open-ended thing, not clearly clarifying, then we can clarify by asking a question or something. But if there is a serious deviation, we have to rectify that to the audience in case speaker is saying something. Like for example, audience asking, Prabhu, is God personal or impersonal? And the speaker says, that is up to you. You can worship God as impersonal or you can accept God. If you are a jnani, you can accept God as impersonal. Bhaktas accept God as personal. Ultimately, Yatoma Tattva, somebody says like that. All paths lead to one goal. Then you may have to correct. But you wait a minute, which book you read? You see, it seems that you have read some other organization book. You didn't read from Prabhupada's. Prabhupada says, if you take a ticket to Calcutta, how will you go to Chennai? You'll sit in the train to Calcutta, you'll come to Calcutta. So, Yanti deva vrata devan, pitranyanti pitruvrataha, bhutani yanti bhutejya, yanti madhyaji, nopimam. So, if somebody says you can worship any demigod, you attain the same goal, he is wrong. You will have to correct. It's a serious deviation. Very politely you can correct. But how we go about it is also a matter of Vaishnava etiquette. If you are superior position, then you have the right to correct him. If that person is superior to you, then you have to approach with great humility. And in a mood of seva, you should do. And we must also be very careful to know that what you may think to be deviation may not be a deviation also. He may have a higher realization and understand, and you are not acquainted with. For example, one speaker is saying, Arjuna was a pure devotee. Therefore, he didn't want to fight the battle, he says. And you might have read another thing in Prabhupada's purport. Arjuna was, having a blind material attachment to his relatives. You may ask, Prabhu, what is this? You are saying Arjuna is soft-hearted. I read but Krishna is scolding Arjuna for material attachment, and you are saying he is soft-hearted devotee. Huh? I think you have not read Bhagavad Gita properly. Huh? If you correct like that, then he will open the Bhagavad Gita and show you. See, Prabhupada says Arjuna is soft-hearted devotee. Pure devotee, so he is not fighting. So which is there in Bhagavad Gita? Soft-hearted or is material attachment? Which one? Both are there. That material attachment is told for us. It's a lesson for us, not for him. He is playing a role put in illusion by Krishna. But the truth is he is soft-hearted devotee. So in this way, sometimes what we think may not be necessarily deviation. Sometimes Chakravarti Thakur has explained one thing, and so Prabhupada has said the same thing in different way. One should not, it may just be our limited perception, so we have to be careful. Most important thing is that the Siddhanta is correct. Conclusion should be correct. Inquire submissively about what it means and what its origin, then declare to be deviation. Some of the Prabhupada God brothers, they have the same message, same Siddhanta, but they present things in a different way. We may be accepting everything as Prabhupada has given us. That may be our chastity and our faithfulness of our Acharya. But if someone is speaking different, we should not criticize. We should not belittle. We should not think that he is wrong. We should have all respect, but we continue hearing according to the way our Guru Acharya has given. Prabhupada things in a certain way, and he wants us to understand and remain faithful in that, to that way, which is teaching. We don't have to go looking for all other ways to fascinate our curiosity. We should be satisfied and continue on. But at the same time, we carefully warned us, do not commit offenses to my God brothers. Okay, most of it is. Srila Prabhupada ki. So now let us hear the next group, our inquire, here, apply. Apply group. They are ready? Yeah. Please give them the chairs. All the chairs are there, I think. In the... yeah. Give a mic to her. Till they put the chairs, I can answer one or two questions here. Yeah.
Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Hare Krishna.
So I wanted to ask about demigod obeisance. So what is happening? We are having Durga Pujas and I don't go to Durga Pandal. So my mother told me in the morning that you are doing aparat. At least go and pay obeisance. But
You can do that. You can offer obeisance to Durga. There is no problem. Today only in the beginning of the lecture I told Durga is whose sister?
Krishna's
Krishna's
sister. Yes.
And Durga is assisting Krishna in many leelas.
Okay.
Like you will see, Krishna is telling Durga to transfer Balaram from the Devaki's womb to Rohini's womb.
Okay.
And then he tells Durga that you and me will be born as brother and sister, twins, born at the same time to Yashoda. He's telling her also. So they both are born. And then she is only transferred by Vasudev to Kamsa. Later on she goes in the sky. So there are many pastimes like this. And then Dwaraka, she is the same one who comes as Subhadra. Subhadra is the same tattva as Durga. In many temples, Krishna and Durga are worshipped together as brother and sister also. There are temples. Not only you have Lakshmi Narayan and Radha Krishna temples, you also have Durga and Vishnu worshipped as brother and sister. In Tamil Nadu, there is a temple which is Meenakshi Amman temple. Meenakshi Amman is green in color. She has a parrot and she is Durga only. And she is given in marriage to Shiva by Vishnu.
Okay.
So one side Vishnu is standing, another side Shiva is standing. She is standing in the middle. So Vishnu is giving her in marriage to Shiva. So there are many, many pastimes like that. And as Annapurni, she is giving, alms to all the three deities of Brahma, Vishnu, Mahesh. So in that Annapurni form, she deals with Krishna like an elder sister, putting Krishna in a small cradle, like a Vatapatra Shahi Krishna, So she's cradling Krishna as an elder sister. So she's a sister tattva to Krishna. So if you see her in that way and offer her obeisances, even Rukmini goes to Ambika's temple. Namasye Twambike Avekshnam Swasantana Shivam Yutam Bhuya patirme bhagavan krishnastad anumodatam. She is praying our Rukmini. Huh? Namasye to Ambike Abhikshnam. Oh Ambika Durga, I offer my namaskar to you. You are sitting with Shiva and your two children, Ganesha and Kartikeya. Huh? And then she is telling that, Bhuyat patirme bhagavan, may Krishna become my husband. Um, Krishnastad anumodatam. Please favorably bless me that I can attain Krishna as my husband. Like that she is praying. Which means Krishna's devotees, if they go to a Durga's pandal and offer obeisances to Durga and say that, please, Durga, take your Trishul away and allow me to become serious in Krishna consciousness. you know, and please allow me to concentrate on my chanting japa very nicely so that I'll become a serious devotee. Huh? So if you think like that, there is absolutely no problem in that. All right? One of the reasons why Krishna devotees enter into Durga's temples, because there they cut chicken and goat and all in some temples. Even in my school days, I used to go to Durga temples. But when they cut chicken and goat and all, it's very painful for us to see the sight. Very ghastly. Sometimes, once in my school days, I saw there were 2 dozen chicken being cut there, all bloody scene. So then we may not go. But in Pandavs, I don't think they do such things. They are just keeping worshipping. And we should also respect those worshippers of Durga because in their platform, they are worshipping, they may be even asking for Dhanam Dehi, Putram Dehi, all those things. But they are much superior to atheistic people. Atheistic people are taking everything and enjoying without gratefully thanking God. On the other hand, those who are worshipping Durga, even though they may be asking material benefits, they have come to the Vedic fold and they are at least going, recognizing the deity of material energy and worshipping her. We should appreciate that. Clear? One hand up, yeah. Please give the mic to her. Yeah.
Hare Krishna.
Yeah.
Prabhu, I have 2 questions. First one is, why do we call it Vyasasana?
Because Vyasadev sat in the asana and dictated the entire Vedic literature to Ganesh. Huh? It was all written down. And Vyasadev sits in the Vyasa peak and then he speaks the because Vyasadev is literal incarnation of Vishnu. Huh? He is himself Vishnu's avatar only. And he is highly qualified because he is Lord himself. Correct, no? Literal incarnation of Lord. And he is all-knowing also. So therefore, even today, if somebody is giving a katha, they call it katha vyas. They call them. Huh? So this thing comes from the Badrika Ashrama, where Vyasadeva, he puts everything in writing to Ganesh, and after that, any other acharya is going to sit and speak katha. Is allowed to sit in this asana and get the empowerment from Vedavyas also to speak the message clearly. Is it clear?
Yes, Prabhu.
Thank you.
And one more question. Prabhu. Actually, in morning, you were giving an example of the Kolkata incident which happened
Right.
of that.
A doctor going alone,
right.
traveling alone, correct?
Yeah, so you were saying that we should live in shelter of someone, or we should not go alone at least
Correct.
midnight. And what about that incident? If we are living in home and these things happen to the newborn babies also, who are few months of newborn, and few girls who are living in the family and their own relatives or their own parents are exploiting them. So what about this situation?
Like parents are exploiting them physically?
Yeah, right. Physically.
Like a father exploiting a daughter?
Yes.
So that is called as incest, we call it. That's a very rare occurrence. It's not much. Incest means a mother becoming lusty for a son or a father becoming lusty for a daughter. These are rare cases, not frequent cases. But in case we find a father is a drunkard and he has lost his good sense, he is coming home and approaching his daughter for a wrong kind of meeting, then the girl is no more in protection. She has no protection. I would suggest that girl that she should leave home and join a girls' hostel. And she goes to college and
That
stays.
place is also not safe nowadays.
Girls' hostel?
Yeah.
Oh, but there are many college hostels where no boys are allowed at all. In Pune, there are girls' hostels where 300, 500 girls live. Not a single male is allowed inside. There is very strict watchman vigilance there. It is true that in girls' hostel, girls also drink, smoke, and all, just like boys do. But amongst the girls, there will be pious girls who are leading clean lives, and she has to identify somebody and make accordingly good friends they can make. But they're far more protected in such a hostel than in being in a home where father himself is exploited. Correct, no? Yeah, because of watching all pornography video and all, man has become lower than an animal also now. Huh? So therefore, like you are saying about this, similarly, in homes, father, mother is divorcing and they are going with the new partners also. Many families. Sometimes students come and tell me that Prabhuji, my father is having an affair, or mother is having an affair, and they come and cry. What can I do? I say that, see, they are not trained like you are trained. Spiritually, they are not trained, so they are ignorant. So what can we do? You can only tell them the correct thing. So if we find that home is not very conducive, then we should live in the company of, like in Pune, for example, 7 or 8 girls are staying together. They're all devotee girls. They have one leader amongst them, and they come to the temple for the morning, and just next to the temple they stay, and they attend the program and go. They take prasad in the temple. So they are all taking care of each other. Generally, girls should go in a group always. You will see in the traditional towns and all, when girls go to a school, they go in a group. You will see 5, 6 of them go, and because when they go in a group, men also feel little afraid to trouble them. Uh, but when they're going single, they can become easy victims. Easily anybody can tease them. But we have to think of certainly every woman has to think where is her shelter, where is her protection. If there is no protection, for example, a girl gets married and goes to her in-laws' house. If the father-in-law is a rogue, now he is trying to misbehave with her, for example, she should tell her husband, see, her father is aged. His in age he is superior, but he's not a respectable person. He is looking with a bad eye on me, and I am not comfortable here. He's approaching me in a wrong way. Then such a girl may have to consider going with her husband to another location in the city. So she stays only with the husband, and then the husband can time to time visit his parents and wife back and forth like that. He can stay with the wife and visit his parents. Ideally speaking, elders are supposed to be protective, But if they are not having a spiritual religious training, some of them are not inclined to spirituality also. And they are watching TV, they're watching a lot of things in the smartphone. And when they are old, they are retired also. They may have a lot of free time to do nonsense. So then we have to, therefore, as you rightly said, anybody who exploits me, I would like to keep away from them. It can be anybody in this world. For example, even cousin brother, cousin sister. My cousin sister may think that my cousin brother will help me. She is going to him like a girl approaching her father. But that fellow is looking at her with an eye of enjoyment. He wants to exploit her body. The moment she knows he's not a good guy, I mean, he is not proper in his speech or behavior, she should immediately cut off that connection, not entertain, block that person. Correct, no? So we all have to be very careful. Nowadays, not only woman can be exploited, even man can be exploited by man also. In this age, in America, there is LGBTQ. There is lesbian, there is gay, there is queer, there is transgender. All these things. What is that? Huh? Bisexual. Huh? Huh? Plus also. They are saying LGBTQ plus also. More things. So all complicated. We are living in a very complicated world now. Therefore, I told you, you can only see somebody who is truly protective, somebody who is exploiting. So wherever you find exploiting vibration, you keep away. That's not a good association. So we have to go for uplifting and encouraging association. Does it make sense?
Yes, Prabhu. Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah. And the mic we will give you.
Hare Krishna Puji. You mentioned like in Vyasasana when we give when devotees give lecture, so they should not speak about management or what some policies or some changes they want to implement in the temple. They should speak on purpose and things. But I heard many examples like devotees like if some book distribute like you only once mentioned in your class that in one book distribution happened some mismanagement and many books went and payment couldn't come, and you gave lecture on
But when we are talking about book distribution, for example, it's directly related to expanding the mission. And also, we are talking missionary spirit, which is sprouting from the scripture. Like we quote the example of Nityananda going door to door. And then we also say, all of you now, marathon is coming, you go door to door. Prabhuji, why are you bringing management on the Vyasasana? You understand? It's not man. Then Nityananda Babu going out, is it management? No. We are taking Nityananda Babu's example. We are taking Prabhupada. Prabhupada carried Bhagavatam to America and he distributed. And he carried a holy name to America and distributed. So we also should go door to door and distribute. That is not management. Management, what you are saying, like for example, there you had some tussle yesterday with somebody, and you go and tell the story in the Vyasasana, and that devotee is like this devotee is like, samajhte nahi hai log, hain. Aisa. You went out your frustrations on the Vyasasana. Some leaders do like that. They went out their frustrations with some devotees or some wrong policies. They don't like certain policies in the temple. They talk ill of that. That means they're using the Vyasasana as a platform to politicize the talk. And so that is condemned. Otherwise, when we are talking about management, easily people know whether you are giving spiritual substance. Like I am speaking so many royal lectures. You heard royal lectures? I start with Bhagavatam and I bring it to the voice related services. Correct, no? Similarly, email lectures also. We begin with Bhagavatam and then we tell something very practical. Why the practical thing is spoken? That is to ultimately promote the scriptures only. Prabhupada said the management means preaching related management. But any management other than preaching related management, it can become political. You can talk about some frustrations with some devotee, frustrations with some policy. For example, you are giving in the Vyasasana you are giving. We may say, a temple, I don't know why Vaishnavas are so cruel, why they take attendance in the morning. They don't realize हम लोग जाते हैं प्रचार के लिए रात को लेट हो जाता है थोड़ा कंपैशनेट होना चाहिए जो 4 बजे उठने के बदले 5 बजे उठते हैं क्या फर्क पड़ता है so then you bring management correct no that's why actually when you intention or action only when you hear somebody what is speaking then only you can say whether it is management or not otherwise actually when Prabhupada says that your talk in the Vyasasana should be Prabhupada's purports, many of the Bhagavatam purports are instructions, you will see that. ISKCON devotees should not be lazy, they should rise in the morning. If you see the Bharat Maharaj, many, similarly, when he's talking about Gajendra, he is talking about the sannyasis falling down. They should adopt a suitable ashram where they will not fall down, Prabhupada talks. That means the mission and the Bhagavatam are very strongly linked. So that can definitely be spoken. But now what cannot be spoken, the Vyasasana, is you yourself know what should not be spoken. A speaker as well as audience, both of them actually know that now class is tangentially going somewhere else. Like for example, recently the election was happening. So there are 1 or 2 speakers in the Bhagavatam class, they were indirectly hinting whom to vote for. Some of them indirectly said and others were directly speaking also. Correct now. So it becomes very clear. You are bringing politics into the class. Correct now. And similarly, there are people who canvas also for something. They want to do something, they canvas for it in the Bhagavatam class. That means don't use the Bhagavatam class as a tool for doing what you want to do. It should be aligned with the mission of the Acharya. For example, you can give a whole class on book distribution in Bhagavatam. You can take Tadvag, Visargo, Janataga, Viplavo, or another verse, Nayat Pachas Chitra Padam Hare Yesho. Take that verse, crow class, one class, and the whole class can be on importance of book distribution, importance of reaching out to home. Yeah. You may say, Prabhuji, the whole class was a book distribution class. Yes, because it's aligned with Acharya's vision. Correct, no? Because Prabhupada says, distribute my books, distribute my books, distribute my. How many times he said? See, there are certain activities in ISKCON you can blindly follow. For example, you do Harinam Sankirtan, book distribution, Prabhupada will never be angry with you. Correct, no? You learn Sanskrit, maybe Prabhupada will be upset. You can't be very sure. But there are certain activities which we will never be upset. If you are like Vaisheshika Prabhu, if he speaks, few minutes he will speak on the purport, and then the whole class he will speak on how to reach out books. But that is completely aligned with Acharya's vision. But what I am talking is, many times you speak what you have agenda in your mind. You come with agenda and you pollute the topic. You pollute the whole class with your own political agenda. You have quarrel with some devotee and then you come and vent out the frustration in the class. That's one example I am saying. So in the same manner, like sometimes the person is sitting here and speaking about a devotee indirectly, everybody knows whom is he talking about. Correct, no? Everybody knows. He is unhappy with this devotee. किसके बारे में अभी किसका डंडा चल रहा है? So those kind of things should not be done. Yeah. Now, hi Lord, now 2 more hands up. Quick. Okay, quick questions, quick answers. Connected, there will be 20 questions now. Yes, okay.
You spoke many examples of like they should not speak and all these things. So like if some devotee is speaking like that, so what the audience should do actually for you?
Yeah.
And they are feeling what is speaking, not speaking.
You should report to his senior. You should report to his senior and say that, Prabhu, we have recorded his class. This portion you can hear. And if his senior is not taking any action, then go to his senior also. If nobody is taking action, you can send me and then I will bring it up without taking your name. Yeah, there are people who write to me. Then I will not immediately bring it up, but I will bring it in such a way that action will be taken eventually, sometime in future. Okay, anybody else?
While hearing what we should do that time.
Oh, no problem. When you are hearing, you can see that, okay, I think this steward is very frustrated, I think. And this fellow has his experience, therefore he is speaking. And he will not speak throughout. Little bit he will speak. Correct, no? No problem. You feel sympathy for him. Okay, and then?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Prabhuji, is it wrong to be choosy while speaking, like hearing Bhagavatam class? Like we are not inspired by like we know that today this devotee is going to give class, and I may not be inspired.
You see, if you are living in a center, whoever is giving class, to attend the class is your duty. You cannot walk out and say that today so-and-so is giving, so I will go to another room and do my own Shravanam. If you do that, then everybody can do that, no? Say, for example, one day a very simple class giver is giving. All of you go to different rooms and hear. Is it good? It's not good. So if you're living in a temple or a center, then whoever gives, you have to hear. That is your duty, at least for that much time. And all hearing personally based on your inspiration that you can hear outside that. Like one boy was telling me, Radheshyam, I'm ready to stay in the voice. But I will get up at 8 o'clock and take my breakfast and go to college. But I am ready to take prasad morning, afternoon, evening and stay in the voice. Am I allowed? I said, you can stay near the voice, I told him. Not in the voice. He said, why? Why can't I stay inside? You have to attend the morning program. Another boy asked, Prabhuji, I will attend the chanting. But class, they are playing some DD series or Zonas Devamrit Prabhu's series they are playing. And that I don't want to hear. It's just audio only. But I have so many other speakers on YouTube I can hear. So I can go to my own room and I can hear. I said, no. If everybody is hearing something, you also should join same class. If we give you lenience, then you have to give lenience for all. Then there is no decorum. Everybody doesn't come together. The whole morning program will be spoiled. So if you are living in a center, do in Rome as Romans do. But if you are in your own house, you have choice. Clear now? Okay, and another?
Hare Krishna Prabhu.
From the lecture, I've heard that when someone is sitting on the Vyasasana, they should represent Vyasadev, and then one should not talk about politics, or one should not criticize any politicians. But we see that Prabhupada very actively
But
criticized.
not on Vyasasana.
Okay.
Prabhupada speaks. Many of the things that Prabhupada strongly criticizing, they are all room conversations. If you read the conversation, there's a lot. Prabhupada was very intelligent. In Vyasasana, he will not bring up such things. Because Vyasasana, it's going to be, video is going to go everywhere. So, but room conversations for smaller number of devotees, those who are intimate circle of devotees, for them, he said, but nowadays, because everything in media they publish, even all, in those days, conversations were only audio form. Now they made the audio form into transcriptions and they made the books also now. Folio also it has come. That's not very good. Because in a room conversation, when you are casually talking, that's different than a classroom setting.
But sometimes in Srimad Bhagavatam classes also, in few of the classes...
Like for example, one verse I will tell you. Why do we need this Ramakrishna? We have the original Ramakrishna, Prabhupada says. We have Ramakrishna Aharat Bharam. In the first canto, third chapter, in the 22nd, 23rd verses, there is information about Krishna Balaram. Prabhupada says what all Leelas they did. They are the original Rama and original Krishna. But these people are calling some human being as God. That we cannot accept, he says. And that is perfectly right. We can speak in the class also because the Mayavadis, they claim Guru to be God. Like I had gone to their mission in Pune to see their Brahmacharya ashram, how they have made. So I saw a big dome. I said, is that the temple? I asked. Yeah, that's the Thakur's temple, he said. I went inside, there was no Thakur. Only their Ramakrishna Paramahansa's Murti was there. So they are calling him only Thakur. They are calling him as God. See, here also we have Prabhupada sitting. Prabhupada never called to be God. He is sitting and taking darshan of Gaurnitai. So even people having Sai Baba temple, I have one thought in my mind. First, I want to meet some other Sai Baba temple people and request them. Opposite Sai Baba, please make Radha Krishna Murti. So that Sai Baba can take darshan of Radha and Krishna. Correct? No? Because Sai Baba himself glorified Krishna with songs and all. Sabka Malik Ek, he said. But he accepted Krishna, but these guys are making him into God. It's not wrong to make Guru's Murti like what we have made for Prabhupada also. Very nice asana we have given him. It's not wrong. But he should be looking at the Lord and worshipping the Lord. Because Prabhupada said, I am always servant of God. Correct? No? He never said, I am God. That's the mistake. So that mistake can be put, it can be discussed in a class. Even in the Bhagavatam, nothing wrong. That's a Siddhanta it is. Yeah.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Yeah, one question, Prabhuji. That like sometimes, like when you're in the office and there are some colleagues who are saying something which is not very much favorable to ISKCON and the culture. So at that time, we cannot leave that place because they
Actually, what you should say, sorry, I think you don't have real experience of ISKCON. You can say like that. I am sorry that you have such a bitter experience, Prabhu. You have heard something from somebody. Very unfortunate. I'm not angry with you, Prabhu, because you are not aware of things. You can come to our Calcutta temple and see Gaurnitai and our wonderful programs that we have here. You take prasad and meet the devotees. Look at Prem Sura Prabhu, Nimayanand Prabhu, Acharatna Prabhu. All swan-like devotees are here. You can tell them like that. And they will become upset with you. Hey, what do you know about ISKCON? You say, keep your anger, postpone it for 1 week. Then first come and see and then we can talk. Then you can bring them and show the devotees. They can talk to them. Then the fellow will cool down. Because many people have some bitter experience. If one bitter experience they had in ISKCON, they will say whole ISKCON is bad. One good experience they had with ISKCON, they will say ISKCON is wonderful. It's all based on experience. I sent one boy to Chopari temple. I told on a Prerna day, go for the festival. They were bringing this big patela of halwa. So when they saw this boy standing at the door middle, Hadja, they told him like that. My Lord, this fellow was shattered. He was a very young boy in devotional service. He started weeping. Because he saw the devotees who were carrying the big patela of halwa, they were saffron devotees. One saffron devotee told him, Hajja. So he wrote a long mail to me saying, Radheshyam Prabhu, because you told me to go to Bombay temple, I went. On the Prerna day, I went to attend the festival, but I didn't attend the festival. I left the place and came. क्योंकि एक भक्त ने हट जा करके बोल दिया मैं कुछ खाया भी नहीं पिया भी नहीं सब छोड़कर आ गया प्रभु जी 3 दिन से रो रहा हूँ प्रभु जी then I told this devotee, okay, it's an unfortunate thing that happened there. And I told him that you will get a good experience, but he didn't get good experience. Then I wrote to another devotee in Chapat and told him that, Prabhu, one devotee boy came, he was little hurt like this. Please take care of him next time when I send. So again I sent, he was very hesitant to go. But I'd send him on a non-festival day. Send in the afternoon time, you go. When in the afternoon time, devotees there are very intelligent. They kept a big Mahaprasad plate for him. So he ate a Rajabhog plate of prasad. Gave him many gifts and gave a big embrace, pat on the back. Then he wrote another 4-page mail to me. Prabhuji, is it a temple on earth or temple in Vaikuntha? His whole comments was like all poetic now. It's all based on experience. Yeah. That's why if somebody is criticizing ISKCON, it's based on their better experience. Because ISKCON is a very big society. There are 3 million devotees across the globe now. Huh? So, how can you say that not one of them will commit mistake? It's very difficult. So, maybe if he has better experience, we have to feel sorry for them rather than become angry on them or trying to run away from the place. You can tell him, Prabhu, wait a minute. You have one experience, but I have another experience. अगर आपको विश्वास नहीं तो आप खुद आकर देखो. Tell him, all right?
Like one question related to that center, like someone is staying at center, but he is connected to some other counselor. So there are his classes and there are some courses that he is doing under him. So at that time there are some audio lectures like daily they play. So that time what he should do?
See, if ideally speaking, if that boy is coming and living in your center, whatever is going on in your center daily, he has to attend. And his counselor's lecture and everything, it can be in the evening time or something, and he can attend.
Same time, Prabhuji.
No, if it is daily at the same time?
Almost.
Then we cannot allow him to stay here. He has to stay outside. We have done that. If somebody says, I will be attending Zoom lecture of my counselor from far away, you tell him you stay nearby and you can come and go whenever you want for association. In fact, in Hyderabad, we have done a deep research regarding boys coming from different places. 2 places, Hyderabad and Bangalore. We found that 25 boys are with us. Out of the 22 have come from outside. Somebody has loyalty to this temple, loyalty to that temple. Weekends you won't find any of them. They all go to their respective temples. Sometimes work from home also, they go away also. Like that. So therefore, the best person for you to consult is one Tarun Mohan Prabhu. He has done a lot of research in Hyderabad. So the Tarun Mohan Prabhu can tell you, if somebody says that the daily morning when your lecture is, in this lecture is that you all guys hear your lecture, I will hear my counselor's lecture, you cannot allow them to stay with you. You have to tell them you have to stay out. But in case only once in a week, his counselor is going to give a talk but throughout the week this boy is attending and he is also rendering a lot of service, very dedicated devotee. That once in a week we can give exemption. That way you can tell him, please try to change the timing to evening or something so that morning lecture we all can be together. You can tell him. And also we made a policy that like another person you can talk to is our Madan Sundar Prabhu in Pune. He also made a policy that if you're staying here, what these guys used to do, 5 days they will stay here. Last 2 days, weekend, they'll go away. And that is the time we need them the most for services. But here they don't give service. In the 5 days, hardly any service is rendered. So then they made a policy that you can go monthly twice to other place. Other 2 weeks you have to give service here. If you don't give service here, don't stay inside. In America, it's even more strict, I'll tell you. If any boy want to stay in the temple, they give lot of monetary concession. Like outside, you may have to spend $1,500. If you stay in the temple, they only charge you $700 only. But you have to give per week 8 hours of seva per week. So those who don't give 8 hours per week service, they cannot stay in the temple. We have in Boston, Brooklyn, because they are giving them $800 concession, which is almost like salary, correct, no? For the service. So you get $800 for 8 hours of service per week, correct, no? So they are giving concession in money also, and temple also benefits by service, their service, and they also grow in devotional service. Correct, no? Similarly, if somebody is coming and staying in our center and his whole total loyalty to somebody else, he is coming to just take advantage of this place. We cannot allow that. Yeah? But he should contribute something to this place also. Similarly, I tell the boys also, if you're going from Pune to Bangalore and he's going to the local temple to take nourishment, or Pune to Kolkata, somebody comes here and they're taking nourishment from this temple, they have to give some donation also here. Some donation, some service, some regular attendance to the classes. 3 things are compulsory. If a Pune boy is there in Calcutta, I will tell him, don't do your own loyal programs to Pune only. You should go to the temple, do some seva, give some donation, attend the classes also. Then why donation? Because you are taking nourishment from here. Anywhere you take nourishment and you don't give donation, you become debtor. You become reading. If a boy says, 4 years I stayed in boys and I got very good training, everything. Now I passed out, I don't give any easy at all. Nobody can catch me. Okay, nobody can catch you, but Krishna will catch you. Because you are taking, but not giving anything. You become reading, debtor. And if you take spiritual nourishment, it's our duty to give charity there. So some of the boys living in Bangalore, they give half money to Bangalore and half to Pune if they are taking nourishment. Clear, no? Similarly, if I'm staying in a voice, eating prasad, taking association of devotees, then I should do some seva also there. Not only seva to my own counselor in another temples. Clear, no? Clear?
Prabhuji, that donation part, is it like, so should he give to the center or to the temple to which the center is connected?
For example, you were preached to by one voice or some temple. You became devotee there. But now you are in another place now. Both the places you can send half or whatever like that. Correct, no? And why do you send money to that place? Because that's like your parent temple. You have a connection. Some of you may even consider joining back there later. Correct, no? So you maintain the connection. They are also giving you some Zoom meetings also now. And you drew a lot of energy from them in your early years. So you have some loyalty to them. So you can give some half donation there. Other half donation you will give locally here. But in case in that temple you didn't gain much. In the early days you were chanting 1 or 2 rounds there. And then you came to this temple and here they brought you to 16 rounds. And you became initiated devotee. Then you don't have much connection there. And they may not know you also. Then in which case you may not give anything there. You may give everything here. Yeah, therefore I told you, it all depends on our connection and nourishment. What connection you feel to them and what nourishment you take from them. Is it clear? Yeah.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Thank you. Yeah? Yeah. Okay. Okay. Mike is coming to you. Give the mic to her. Quick.
In Bhagavad Gita and Srimad Bhagavatam, we have verses mentioning women are second-class citizen, but at times devotees sits in Vyasasan, bashes women. What should be the etiquette since it is also mentioned in our is there anything mentioned in our Shastra?
But where is it mentioned women are second-class citizens? Where is it? Nowhere it is mentioned like that in Prabhupada's purports. In Prabhupada's purports, you will find abundant information about how the women were deeply respected. Like if you see, I will quote examples for you. Go to the first canto, 10th chapter, where the women of Hastinapur are all climbing up the rooftop and showering flowers. And there Prabhupada says, women in the Vedic times were given so much respect. They were given a higher position on the rooftop while the men were all down. And when Krishna was leaving for send-off of Krishna, so that time, So Prabhupada says, why it was done? If women are below and men are up, then men may look at the women. Huh? But women are on the top, men are below. So no man can look at the woman with exploitative eye. It's not possible. So women were protectively treated in the Vedic times like that. So in Los Angeles also, they made one gallery. And they told Prabhupada, you said in Vedic times women were in the galleries. Huh? And therefore we have made that so men can be below. Prabhupada said, oh, that's very good. Let the men dance below and women can dance on their heads. And Prabhupada was joking like that. Huh? So actually, similarly in LA temple, the men were telling one time when Prabhupada came, there were no women in the temple hall. And Prabhupada asked, why there are none of women ladies? Ladies are not there in the temple hall. They said, Prabhupada, some brahmacharis said, a woman should not be in the temple. They should go back to their rooms or something like that. Prabhupada said, if they are so disturbed, tell them to go to forest. Prabhupada says that, they can't respect the women as mothers, let them go to forest. So in this way, Prabhupada took the side of women. So the Prabhupada gave a lot of respect to women. And Prabhupada also wanted women to go for book distribution. And Prabhupada also wanted them to, in fact, there is a brahmacharini ashram even in Boston and Brooklyn temple, even today. There is one entire floor devoted to women in both these temples, because I go to these temples every year. I go twice. There are almost like around a dozen or 15 ladies staying and practicing. They are all very strict. There is no mixing between men and women. The women stay in one floor above, and no man is allowed to go there. And the men have another thing, and they are all together practicing. So they are given equal opportunity for practicing spiritual life and growing in spiritual life. So if somebody is sitting in Vyasasana and bashing women, they are woman haters. There may be some people like that. That is not what Bhagavatam speaks. That is their own opinion. There are some women haters, and they want to promote men, and they want to downplay women and disrespect women. That's another thing. Shastras, they teach us to respect women and protect women. Respect children and protect children also. And why respect children? Because children also have their free will, and one should not overly force them. So proper treatment should be given. And today I explained as a part of my class that women sometimes may be less discriminative, owing to their emotional nature. I explained that. And they may, like Prabhupada says, when they come to temple, they immediately put faith in the deities, bow down and offer flowers and fruits to deities. That's their positive side. And the negative side is they may put faith in some bogus Baba also. There are so many bogus Babas in India on whom women put faith, and that fellow exploited them. And then comes in paper tomorrow. Therefore, women should not be allowed to freely mix with men. Actually, women were given freedom to choose their partner, like Swayamvara, we say, no? Draupadi Swayamvar, Sita Swayamvar. That means women were allowed to choose their spouse, but they were not allowed to mix freely. Nowadays, boys and girls, they choose also, and they want to mix freely, which is not allowed in the Vedic times. They can choose a spouse and tell their parents. And then the parents will find out whether the spouse chosen is proper. And then they will decide. That means that much freedom was there in Vedic times, correct now? People think that only modern girls have freedom, but in Vedic times, Swayamvara was an official function. Modern girls are, without telling parents, secretly they are choosing spouse. Vedic time, there was an official function. In the presence of the father, she is choosing. Just see. That is why Vedas are impeccable. If you study the Vedic pastimes properly, things will become more and more clear. Now let us take the presentation now. Where is it? It vanished? Okay. Apply. Execute instruction faithfully. Yes.
Hare Krishna devotees, please accept my humble obeisances. And today is the most important topic we are discussing about the digestion part. how to apply, how to execute the instruction of spiritual master faithfully. At a glance, in this presentation, we discuss about uh, why we need to follow the instruction of spiritual master. Then we will talk about how a devotee can meditate on the spiritual master. Then we will also talk on how like spiritual master gives instruction based on the psychophysical nature of the disciple, and at the end we'll discuss about how a disciple can execute the instruction of spiritual master. Now, so when we like everyone has this question, why we need to follow the instruction of spiritual master? uh Anyone has an answer for this?
When we are not in advanced state, then our mind teaches us by telling that that is good, that is wrong. But spiritual master takes the upper view and higher dimension. In higher dimension, he thinks and he knows what is good for us, and he tell us that.
Yes. And any other option, any other answers? We become disciplined. Yes. Yes. So actually, Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti in his celebrated prayers of Sri Guru Ashtakam, 8th verse, he says that Yasya prasadat bhagavat prasado yasya aprasadan nagati kutopi. He says that if like by the mercy of spiritual master, one can please Krishna, one can get perfection. If a disciple is not pleasing the spiritual master, means there is no means for deliverance. And in the Bhagavad Gita also, Lord Krishna says, Tadvidhi pranipatena pariprashnena sevaya upadekshanti te gnanam jnaninas tattvadarshina. Because he is realized that knowledge by rendering service unto him submissively, he can impart that knowledge unto us. In the same way, Srila Narad Muni, while giving instructions to Yudhishthir Maharaj, when he was talking about glories of Prahlad Nrsimhadev, so the Srimad Bhagavatam 7.15.25 verse, he says that one must conquer the modes of passion and ignorance by developing the mode of goodness, and then one must become detached from the mode of goodness by promoting oneself to the platform of Shuddha Sattva. All this can be done automatically done if one engages in the service of spiritual master with faith and devotion. In this way, one can conquer the influence of modes of nature. So further, I'll give to Arvind Prabhu how one can meditate on the instructions of spiritual master.
Hare Krishna. So the first thing is that after getting instruction from the Guru, our disciples should meditate on it. Here we will see what is the meaning of meditating on the instruction of the spiritual master. Like meditating on the instruction of the spiritual master means contemplating on it and thinking deeply on it. What does Guru want me to do? Knowing the motive behind it. Like we can see the example of Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada Guru told one day, "You are so much learned. Why don't you go to West and preach?" Srila Prabhupada told, "Until British rule is there, how can I go and preach?" Then his Guru told, "Krishna consciousness is an emergency." Then Srila Prabhupada contemplated on it. Then he understood the real motive of his Guru. What Guru wants me to do. Then he preached all over the world, not only to the West. And then we see one story from the Bhagavatam 4th canto, the Prachita story. They left their home to perform severe austerities and in between Lord Shiva made them. Out of his great mercy, Lord Shiva given them the instruction about the absolute truth. And, and then the Praketas took the instruction very seriously. And they considered Lord Shiva as a spiritual master. And then they meditated upon it. Tad dhayanto japantasya. They meditated upon it and is chanting on the instruction and worship the instruction with great care and attention. And hence they reach the perfect stage of life. They rule over the whole world and they establish Dharma with the blessing of Lord Vishnu. Now Srila Prabhupada told in his purport that after being initiated and receiving the orders of the spiritual master, the disciples should unhesitantly think about the instruction or orders of the spiritual master and should not allow himself to be disturbed by anything else. Now, Prabhu will tell about how the Guru instruct the disciple according to his nature.
So, before one goes on for applying the instructions, making it practical, the disciple has to be very faithful. So, we need to understand, everybody of us, that whatever instructions we are receiving from our seniors, so the instructions are given to us based on our psychophysical nature. Basically, the instructions may not seem to us very practical for us, or it may seem like it has nothing to do with devotional services, but it is something which is actually going to purify us. Like, for example, yesterday we were hearing in the class about Subal Prabhu. So, Subal Prabhu, when he was in Vrindavan, he was given the charge of construction of the temple. So, it doesn't directly appear like it is a devotional service. So, rather, it is some materialistic activity. But actually, in that way, Prabhupada actually gave services to many of his disciples, like to some devotees he gave painting, to some carpenter work, like that. So, and by doing that only, his disciples actually, now we see that although they were from such a lower background from the western countries, but still now they have successfully completed their spiritual endeavors, and we see they are so advanced, and we hear from them, we take instructions from them. So this is also very much practical in our voice life also. Like initially when we come to voice, generally in the second year, we are a little bit fearful because obviously earlier we did not have any devotional exposure. So we have so many of our material ambitions. So, but whoever our counselor or our seniors are there, they are already experienced in teaching, basically training so many other youths they have trained in the past. So we should not be fearful for taking instructions from them, because the fear is there that he may, my spiritual ambitions, my material ambitions may get killed. So actually the instructions are always given in such a way that we will rise yeah. So many times it so happens that we may have heard in lectures that devotees may keep hopping from one temple to another temple. So that is a little higher for us. For voice devotees, like it may sometimes happen that in one voice we feel, in our own voice we may not feel very nice, but when we go to some other voice we may feel very good, or we go to some
other place we may feel very good. So this I have taken from Prabhu's lecture only. Prabhu tells that sometimes the problem may not be with the guru or the instruction, the problem may be with our own self. So basically when we have desires of sense gratification, then we are not able to align with the instructions, and then we are frustrated. So the best way to give up the desire of sense gratification is to align with the instructions of the acharyas or seniors, and by that way actually we can live very peacefully, and we can actually understand how the things are beneficial for me. So now I'll hand over the mic to Aditya Prabhu. He will illustrate how to execute instructions.
So let us see now how we can execute the instructions faithfully and by different means. So by meditating on the instruction, we get to see how we can use different means so that we can execute the instructions faithfully and with full conviction. So one of the great examples is our founder Acharya, Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada meditated on the instruction which was given to him by Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur. And can anyone tell what was the instructions given? Yeah, yeah. And one more instruction. Yes. Whenever you get many, print books. So he was so much dedicated to follow his instructions, so that he used to walk and don't take bus, so that he can save money and buy paper and print books. And he established ISKCON, which was not directly told to him by Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, but he established ISKCON and BBT. And we are seeing now, even after he has disappeared, the message, the instruction given by his spiritual master is still going on. So let's see now how Prabhupada gave instruction to his disciples and how they gave it. So now Tejas Prabhu will continue.
So now we heard about how Prabhupada got instruction and how in Bhagavatam many places they have got instructions. But any example of how example? No, it did not reveal everything. But who got this? Anyone know who got this instruction? Go and preach in Tamar Krishna Maharaj. Hari Bol. So yeah, so he got this instruction and he went out of the way to just somehow or the other fulfill it. And in a country like China, which was a communist country, no one was allowed in it. They had to literally change the hotels after some every other day. Ratan Maharaj mentioned on his Vyas Puja lecture. And they faced so much problems in getting the books, but somehow or the other, he just managed to. And now you see, so many devotees are there in China. They come to Mayapur also, like that. So that was all because of his determination. A similar instruction, one of our senior acharyas got about Mayapur. Anyone? And what was the instruction? Exact instruction. Yes. And develop, and it's very nice. So yeah, that was it. And this was the question, match the following. So we had an answer. So you can click the photo and tell us if your answer is matching with us. So that, because it was a little bit difficult, like that. So we've solved the question. Like it was about first one was who got the instruction. First, who got the instruction, who gave the instruction, and what was the instruction?
And what was the instruction?
So if you are willing to, the question is there, but you can see the answer. These were it was a little bit difficult.
You have the booklet with you, all of you? Where is the booklet? Check it in your booklet. First one is B is which one?
Our answer might be wrong, little bit.
First is Srila Prabhupada. He got instruction from Bhaksan Feroz Thakur. And the instruction was 3. 3 years. If you ever get money, print books. Correct, they have done like that. So it was just marked like this.
Okay.
And Kurma Brahman,
Like sometimes we did not get any, like it was overlapping and some points were like Kurma Brahma, we thought that there was.
see, Kurma Brahman got instruction from Lord Chaitanya.
Acha.
Did you put C?
Acha.
Huh?
Once, 2C.
Yeah, Lord Chaitanya, and the instruction was Jare Dokka Tareko Krishna Upadesh. Where is that? Last one, okay.
This answer was.
Yeah, last one. Okay, and then Raghunath Das Goswami, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, what is Balanakai way is there? Where is it? Fourth, 1, 2, 3, 4. Don't dress or eat opulently. Correct. That's correct. And then Jagannath Pandit, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, what instruction he gave him? Huh? Stay with Sanatana Goswami when you go to Vrindavan. Correct. In Raj, yeah. And then Raghunath Bhatta Goswami, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu gave him serve parents but don't marry. Told him to wait because he wanted to join ashram. Huh? And Raghunath Bhatta, okay. And Tamalkrishna Maharaj, by Srila Prabhupada, go to preach in China. Got it? And then Lord Nityananda, by Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, go door to door and do prachar. Got it? And Haridas Thakur, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, there's nothing else for Haridas Thakur? Go door to door only. They both are preaching partners. Yeah. Okay. And then Arjuna, Lord Krishna told him, remember Krishna and become his devotee. Manmana Bhamad Bhakto. Correct. And then Parikshit, Shukadeva Goswami told him, here, glorify, remember Supreme Lord always. You got it all right? Give them an applause. Haribol. Which one? Which one is this? Huh? What did you write for Kurma Brahman? Hey, actually, Kurma Brahman is always chant Hare Krishna and preach Krishna consciousness. That is for Kurma Brahman. No, Bola Krishna was for Nityananda Prabhu. Yeah, correct. See, Nityananda Prabhu go door to door also is correct. But go door to door and do prachar is also correct. But there are two answers. For some of them, there are more than one answer also. Huh? Go door to door and prachar is one. And another one is Bolo Krishna, Bhajo Krishna, Kara Krishna. Two answers. This is a new type of maths of following. See, sometime in maths of following, what I do, for a question, the answer is like this. One boy said, Prabhuji, nowhere in the world we have seen such a maths of following. You are giving answer directly opposite. I said, only in Krishna consciousness we can do that. In college, always they'll give you like this or like this. So, Bola Krishna, Bhajo Krishna, that also, yeah. And anything is left out, I think all are covered, I think. Correct, no? They did very well, yeah. Completed fully. They are the ones who finished on time. Haribol. Very good.
There were some devotees who did not speak, but they helped the Lord Shiva Prabhu, Sridhar Prabhu.
Acha.
And from
You tell all the names.
from Shivpur Voice.
Which college all devotees belong to?
From Sipur Voice, Aditya Prabhu and Subham Prabhu.
Okay.
From
Yeah. Other names, all of you? All the names.
My name is Tejas.
Aditya.
All of your Shivpur boys? And then?
I am Gulshan.
Tarun.
I am Shiva from Ramadeswaram Voice. Also, Sridhar Prabhu is not there. but
Okay, he
is
was
also-
there for
yeah.
preparation, he was there. Held also. Okay. All are covered? You all have covered your names? Thank you. Haribol. So the best part is this group, they asked many questions to audience. You observed it? So asking questions to audience makes the whole session very participative. Huh? The audience are likely to be attentive if you throw questions to them. Huh? When you throw questions, like they asked one question, why should we follow? Why should we follow spiritual master? They asked. But one more point I added here. At the same time, little bit deliberating on the audience answers and commenting on it or appreciating, that is also important. Say, I ask a question and there are 4 or 5 answers are coming and quickly you release your own answer. Then the audience will think that, oh, this fellow asked a question, but he didn't acknowledge my answer. They'll feel like that. Huh? See, my Shiksha Guru, Devamrit Prabhu, in IIT days, for example, we would ask a question, long bounded question. And then what he would do, he will summarize the question. And then he will ask me back, is that what you meant? And I say, yes. Pat immediately take the answer, he'll give it. Huh? Exactly to the question he will answer. The same manner, we can rephrase the answers and say that so-and-so said this, so-and-so said that, and so-and-so said, all are wonderful. At the same time, the real answer is this, like that we can give. Huh? So whenever audience gives any response, we can appreciate it. That was brilliant answer. Huh? And another audience says, that's close to what I was looking for. You know, and some other audience is saying something, that's interesting, which means it's not correct. So like that you can throw a comment. Huh? So then audience will feel valued for their comments. Otherwise, you say, question देकर चले गए, प्रभु जी किधर है क्या अभी? So, and they also quoted nice, relevant quote that was nice. 7:15:25, importance of serving Guru. That was nice. Huh? And meditating on Guru's instruction, like considering what instruction Guru gave. I have written one example, Anantacharya developing project in Tirupati Hill. One time, Shripad Ramanacharya was sitting with 70 acharyas under him. They are all his disciples. So one day in the middle of the class, he made a rhetoric statement. Huh? He exclaimed, "Oh, how wonderful is that Lord Tirupati Balaji, Lord Venkateshwara Srinivasa." So he resides on the top of the hill for millions of years. Huh? So, but now that whole jungle, the whole mountain is surrounded by jungle, infested with cheetah and tigers and scorpions and snakes and bears and deers. Huh? So it has become a big forest. How nice it will be if that forest can be cut down, huh? And a beautiful temple is established, and where Balaji can be worshipped with great devotion and reverence. And also a pushkarni, a pond can be dug, and lotuses can be grown in that pond, and daily garlands can be offered to Lord Balaji. How nice it will be. Like that he said. Everybody said, yes, good idea, very nice. And then he suddenly threw a question, is there any one of you who would like to do that? Yeah. My Lord, everybody was hiding behind others. Because nobody wanted to leave Srirangam where the Acharya is living. Everybody wanted to stay under the lotus feet of Guru. They thought we are very weak in devotion service. Better that you stay with him and go back to Godhead. Huh? Nobody was in a mood to leave and go to Tirupati. One Acharya behind, he raised the hand. And Namanuja called him, come here. And he made him sit next to him. So he is Anantacharya. And he patted him and said, he is Horn Billai. He said, Horn Billai means he is a real man. He is a man, he's a courageous man. He has accepted a project which is not very easy to do. Anantacharya was actually a Grihastha devotee, but fully dedicated. So he and his wife went to Tirupati hills. Now we go, Tirupati hills are very comfortable to travel now. There are very nice roads are made. You can even smoothly go in a car also, up. In those days, you cannot even climb up properly. There is steep, 7 hills actually. Thick jungle, all animals living and everything, very risky to go there. But he and his wife took the trouble. So they cut through the jungle and made roads, and tilling the land and taking the sand and throwing it. So his wife was pregnant also. But still she would carry that vessel on her head and go. She would go and throw away the sand and come back. Again, Anantacharya would dig and give her sand. They too are the ones who are doing. And she would go and throw it and come. So that time Lord Balaji, who is Krishna, he came as a young small boy. And then he told this Mataji that why are you lifting such heavy sand on your head? You are also carrying a child in your womb. You know, you give it to me, I will go and throw it. So she said, no, no, no. Anantacharya, it is his service to his guru. He will not like me to hand over this to you. He said, no, 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 don't tell him. You take it and come little distance and give me, then I will go and throw it and give you empty one and you can take it. So when she was doing it, Anantacharya was surprised, how you are coming so back quickly? I think somebody is helping you. And then she said, one young boy, he is coming and helping. Why did you take help from that fellow? Who is that fellow? He asked. Then he saw that boy and Anantacharya came and said, hey, this is our service given to us by our Guru, spiritual master. You cannot interfere in this. You go away from here. The boy said, no, no, sir, I will also join the service. I will also help you. He said, look at you, you have a tender body. You can't even hold the ornaments that you are wearing on your body. They may be heavy on you. You are such a small boy. You cannot. That's why Krishna said, Megha Shamala Komalangau, it is said, no? Jayati Jayati Devo, Devaki Nandanoso, Jayati Jayati Krishna, Vrishni Vamsha Pradeepaha, Jayati Jayati Megha Shamala Komalangau, Jayati Jayati Prithvi Bharanashau Mukundau, it is said. So the boy was not, ready. Other boy actually, again and again he was secretly helping her. Then Ansa became angry. He chased after the boy with a rod in the hand. And then the boy climbed up on the top of a tree and he sat in the tree branch and the ancestor could not approach him. He told the boy, hey, get down, come here. Otherwise again you will come to help. The boy said, if I come down, you will catch me. He said, no, I won't catch you. I'm going away now. You go away, he said. But then the boy got down and then Anandacharya started chasing him. He started running. So from a distance he threw the rod so that he will be afraid, hearing the sound. But then the rod hit him here, in this place. And the boy turned like this. And then the boy ran away. Later on, Anantacharya went to the temple. He saw the Lord was bleeding in this place. He was shocked. He asked the Lord, what happened to you? You are my life and soul. Every day I am making a beautiful garland to offer you. What is this bleeding? Who hurt you? Tell me. You only hurt me, the Lord said. Really? What did I do? Then he told, I only came to assist you, but you didn't let me. Hit me with the rod. So immediately he ran to the forest, got some jadi buti, made a paste, and applied for the Lord. Even today they apply this karpur. You seen that? In this place they apply some karpur like that. There are many pastimes like that. But the point is, he took the service of Guru very seriously. So every day he used to make a garland, a lotus garland. So everything was done. He made the temple, he worshipped the Lord there, and also the Pushkarini was made and lotuses were coming. So one day he was sitting on one mandap next to the lotus pond and he was making the lotus garland. The Lord sent one pujari and told, call Anandacharya, I want to talk to him. And Anandacharya said, you see, the lotuses are now like this. If I leave them behind and come to talk to you and go back, they will be fully blossomed. But if they fully blossomed, the fragrance will go away. So therefore, I have to make the garland when they are closed. So I will make the garland, and then by the time I bring it to your sanctum sanctorum, they will slowly blossom, and you will get the fragrance. So that was the intention. So he said, so I am making it, and it is my Guru's order that this is how I have to make the garland and offer you. So I will not come now, I will come later. So the Lord became upset with him. So when he made the garland and took it, the Lord said, I don't want your garland today. He said, I said, what happened? Why are you upset? So the Lord said, when I called you, you didn't come. Not only I don't want the garland, I ask you to vacate this hill and go back. And he told, oh, you're telling me to vacate this hill? See, this hill neither belongs to you nor me. Because for you, who has given this hill? Varaha Deva has given. See, when he wanted to come to that hill, Varahadev looked at Lord Srinivasa and said, I am afraid to allow you here, he said. Srinivasa asked, why? He said, you are so beautiful. If you come here, nobody will look at me. They look at only you. And then Srinivasa said, don't worry, sir. When I come here, I will make a policy that unless they see you, they cannot come for my darshan. He said, okay, permission granted. Varahadev allowed him to stay there. Now you may ask, Varahadev and Srinivasa are one tattva only. But this is just for sake of pastime, Lord plays such pastimes. Like you find Rama is also there, Parashurama is there. Correct, no? All. In this, sometimes the Lord in multiple forms comes in pastimes like that. So he said, Varahadev gave you the hill to live, and my Guru Maharaj has given me the place to live. Both of us are anyway tenants only. One tenant cannot vacate the other tenant. Like that he said. And then he said, if you want to vacate me from this hill, you have to ask my Guru only. Ramanacharya, you have to ask him. And as far as I am concerned, I will continue my service to you. You cannot stop me, he said. The Lord was saying, my Lord, I can't escape your service, so I'll accept your service. So in this way, that is, so Anandacharya is constantly meditating on Guru's instruction. He took up a very difficult to do project. See, think and plan about how to make that project happen. Actually, I thought that these fellows are not coming up with proper examples, so I wrote it, but later on I realized they brought out everything one by one. Bhagwan Thakur told them, publish books, but he didn't tell details to Prabhupada. Think and plan means what? Okay, what books to write, how to design the covers. Did Bhagwan Thakur give all details? What should be in the cover, what should be title, beyond birth and death, or science of self-realization. He didn't give all details. This is the point. Guru will give you a seed idea, and you should take that seed idea and you should expand it. You should develop. Just like from a seed comes, germinates a plant, and then sapling, then a tree, then all the flowers, fruits, everything comes like that. The disciple should be able to take that seed idea and develop it in a way that will be pleasing to Guru. Which means in development, you should not do something else only. Guru told you one thing and you told another. One example I'll tell you. Prabhupada told his name was, I'll tell you his name, Siddha Swarupananda. See, this fellow's earlier name was Sai. One day, Prabhupada and disciples are walking on the road. Some people are wearing a red tilak. And Prabhupada was not there, disciples were there walking. And these fellows wearing red tilak, they offered obeisances. And wearing yogi pant kind of thing, which Prabhupada didn't like. Prabhupada said, you guys are going back to your old habits. You should not keep long hair. Lavanyam Keshadaranam, Bhagavatam says. In Kali Yuga, men want to keep long hair and women want to cut the hair. So Prabhupada said it's not proper. Opposite should be happening. Actually, women should have a long hair to cover their body, and men should have short hair. So, and also, he was doing one type of preaching in his yoga studio. He would make them, all of them, lie down and do something like a shavasana. And then after 30 minutes of shavasana, they would chant one Mahamantra. Krishna, Hare, Krishna, 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 Hare, Hare, like that they would do. And Prabhupada heard it, he became very angry. He said, when did I teach you like this? In any of my lecture, do I do like this? Hare Krishna. After half an hour of plugging nose and standing upside down, this, all yogasanas, only one mantra? I am telling you to chant 16 rounds of 2 hours of chanting. Why are you coming up with this kind of speculative ideas? Prabhupada didn't like it. That means, he is preaching, but that preaching is going against Acharya's wish. Nowadays, ISKCON also worldwide is thinking of various ideas to preach innovatively. Some devotees are teaching yoga. Prabhuji, can we preach through yoga? Can we preach through astrology? Can we preach through cooking classes? Its idea is good, but you should be making devotees. Say, for example, you start a cooking class in your college and teach boys and girls how to cook. It's a nice thing, and how to offer the bhoga and take prasad. And then along with it, you chant Mahamantra. Some of them may become devotees. But sometimes it becomes difficult to make them devotees because they didn't originally intend to make spiritual inquiry. They came only to learn. Okay. Similarly, people who come for yoga, they are very likely to be sattvic people. Correct, no? Yeah. So they are very sattvic mindset they have. So they are very likely to become devotees. Because sattvic, but you can't say that they will become devotees. They may become. Because sattva is a very good platform for, because they follow most of the principles we teach. Many of them don't take onion, garlic also. They don't eat meat. They are very, favorable for Krishna consciousness. They're friendly also. But so in this way, you can teach yoga, but then in the name of teaching, like I went to one yoga studio in Bloomington in America. So there was one lady who leads that yoga center, and she also sells these malas and other things and all. She has a shop also. So we have Pranavalla Prabhu is preaching there in Bloomington. So he preaches to many Western bodied people. So he told me that, Radheshyam, I want to take you to a very special program. All Westerners will come. So there are about 40 Westerners, all yoga students. So they were all spread out in the hall, sitting in an elliptical format. I sat and I understood that many yoga students are very interested. That is one institute I go whenever I go to West. Another one is in LA, Los Angeles, just 3-4 blocks from the temple if you go. There is one Kumi yoga studio. There is one very old lady who leads that yoga studio, and she has about 100 to 150 students coming there. So that institute also, very amazing. That studio, when I would go, something like 50, 60 people would attend, all Western bodied people. So they are also very interested in our philosophy. So she was telling that whenever you come to the West, we can do a program for these people because they were only learning yoga now. If they hear some philosophy of Gita, they can start chanting. So that that owner of the studio is her, and it seems she is chanting connected to the LA temple. So there are people like this, and when we go and speak during the talk, after the talk, they all chant one round. We have a chanting together, definitely. They take Prabhupada's books also. Somebody has to follow them up and make them devotees continuously, correct, no? So we can try such kind of pious audience. So what I would suggest all of us could consider doing in our own place, like our cities where we live, we can find out yoga studios and make friends with them. And then we can request them, is it all right once in a month I can give a class for your students, and on a voluntary basis, not compulsory. She also used to make it voluntary. Whoever wants to come can come. And imagine you have a dozen yoga studios in your city. And then you go and give a nice Krishna conscious talk to them, Gita in 4 sutras, something like that. They may become devotees. There's a possibility. Like in Hyderabad, we have one man in the gym. He was the owner of a gym. And 1,000 people are connected to the gym, who come on different time schedules on different days. Some of them come 2 days a week, 3 days a week. 1,000 people, yes. And the gym owner only, he became a devotee. Now he is a disciple of Zalman Bhakti Maharaj now. So he comes to dress Prabhupada also now. He's initiated devotee now. So in his dressing Prabhupada, you will see his body very strong. You'll see more very strong. So he only became devotee. Because when we were in college, remember, we used to go to gym, and there is Hanuman, we used to offer obeisances to Hanuman. Hanuman is so later on I came to know that gym is useless. You have to go for yogasanas. Yogasanas is externally you cannot show your biceps, but internally you become healthy by yoga. In gym you can show your biceps, show off. Whereas in yogasanas it's more beneficial. So these gym fellows, yogasana people, and also through cooking classes, these are all indirect ways of preaching. Bridge preaching, as we say. But the problem is people get stuck up in the bridge only. What is bridge preaching? These guys are materialists and these are Hare Krishna devotees. And there's a bridge between the two. Why? Because they like food and we provide food, nice prasad. You know? They also want to know some spirituality. They don't know anything. And we can offer spirituality which gels very well with yoga. Correct? No? In Bhagavad Gita also 6th chapter Krishna talks about yoga, Ashtanga yoga and all. So we have something of what they have plus little more. So they want to learn from us. So we go in the bridge like this. And they also come like this. We go in Mridangam Kartal, we go here. And they come here and there is a discussion happening. And after the discussion, you have to bring them here to your side. And they all wear tilak, kantimala, they're chanting, dancing, devotees. Correct, no? Just like all of you are students in the college, wearing shorts or wearing pant shirt and studying science, technology and all those things. Some Hare Krishna devotees came and there is a bridge, one-time program, correct, no? DYS program, all are bridge topics. And then there's a discussion, some of them, and then they brought you here. Now you have dhoti kurta, they like chanting, dancing, correct, no? They become Krishna devotees now. That's the goal. But sometimes another thing happens. When you go here, then the Hare Krishna, they go this side. That also can happen. That's a problem, correct, no? Some of them. Or another thing that happens is they remain in the bridge, having a nice time. Neither you go this side nor that side. So going to this side or remaining in the bridge, both are useless. That's why Prabhupada says that in the name of bridge, don't go too far. Like for example, devotees in America, one day Prabhupada saw devotees were returning back to temple at midnight. Because Prabhupada gets up early, midnight he gets up. Saw the devotees returning. Hey, where were the devotees? He said, Prabhupada, they had gone to a hotel. Devotees came and said, Prabhupada, today we had gone to a hotel. It was a beer bar. Also, what did you do there? They said, Govindam Hari Purusham Tamaham Bhajami Govindam. That had become so famous. They will go in hotels, beer bars, everywhere they will perform. And many of the drug addicts and hippies, they also liked it. So they would go and perform for half an hour, 1 hour, then they would sing Hare Krishna also. Papa said, this is no good. You will get polluted going in the Tamoguni environment. All devotees, Prabhupada said, should sleep early and rise by 4 a.m. in the morning. Then he started Mangalarti from that time. That was the time Prabhupada made the new plan for Mangalarti, Narsingharti, Tulsiarti, instituted it after that. And he told, now you guys have to sleep early. Don't go to all these nasty places. Now we have enough devotees now. Let us preach to many, many people in the daytime. At night you should sleep early. Made that. So in this way, why am I telling you these things? When Guru gives an instruction, we should think about it, make a blueprint, make a plan, find out ways and means how to give shape to it, how to materialize it or turn it into a reality. Like Adbhuta Mandir was predicted by Lord Nityananda long before, 500 years ago. There is going to be a very big Adbhuta Mandir. Where? Mayapur, yeah. Now that Adbhuta Mandir is manifesting already. His own is Jayapataka Swami Maharaj and many other associates and all of them. Now it's a very huge project it is. And they're manifesting it now. So he is turning that dream of Nityananda Prabhu and Prabhupada into a reality with the help of many other devotees. So in this way you can see that we have to find out ways and means to turn that instruction into a reality. And we have to please the spiritual master by that. So his guru told him, why don't you take the message of Lord Chaitanya to the West? Then Prabhupada started preaching in the West and then by that he made ISKCON society. Correct, no? And then his guru told him, if you ever get money, print books. Prabhupada established. So here are two ways by which Prabhupada gave shape to his guru's decisions in a big way. A very big way. And Prabhupada also ordered his disciples to bring out CC in 2 months, correct now? How many of you know that? Ah, so you saw miraculous, huh? How they brought 2 months. How many volumes? Huh? 17 volumes at that time. I heard that one painter will be doing painting and then go to sleep, fall. The next painter will come and take on, continue where he left. See, generally speaking, one painter will not allow any other painter to touch their painting. Whereas in ISKCON, many paintings were done by multiple painters. Because they would continuously work for 12, 14 hours and they would suddenly fall asleep, next fellow will come and continue. That's how they completed all the paintings in CC. But still how it has come out, you saw, huh? Such amazing pictures. And also typesetting and putting everything together and publishing. It's not a joke, 17 volumes in 2 months. But Prabhupada said impossibility is found in the dictionary of fools. It's very amazing. Similarly, Prabhupada told 3 couples to go to preach in London. Malti Mataji asked Prabhupada, Swamiji, you are telling us to go to London and preach. What will we preach? We are not learned like you. Huh? You know, you have done 45 years of tapasya and now coming and preaching to us. You know so much knowledge. And Prabhupada said, don't worry, in 1 week I will give training. He said. So they all came for training. What the training? How to play kartal. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Bhaja Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. So, in 1 week, Prabhupada just taught them how to play mridanga, how to play kartal, how to sing Hare Krishna, and the basic philosophy. And after 1 week, Prabhupada said, this is enough. You just go and preach this. So, when they went to London, nowhere anybody was ready to accommodate them in any of the houses because strangers, nobody knows them. So, they found some shacks on the road. Shack means like a milk booth. You've seen milk booths? Small booths in India, you find. Like that, they had some cardboard box type of thing. So 3 boxes were there and 3 families were. So 3 families lived in 3 such booths, cardboards, like that, on the sides of the road. And one of the family had a small baby also. Can you imagine? Huh? How difficult it is. Huh? But every day they would go out for book distribution and preaching. They were doing vigorously. And in 4 months, they made 4 brahmacharis. Huh? After the 4th month, Maltima said, we should definitely call Prabhupada and tell him the good news that we have preached and brought these new fellows. Huh? So then they called Prabhupada. And Prabhupada was so happy. Huh? Prabhupada said, prior to you guys going there, 35 years there were other fellows preaching in the Gaudiya line. He said they made just one lady into a devotee whose name was Elizabeth Towell. Huh? So she had become Vinodvani Dasi. Otherwise, there was not much preaching there. But you fellows went, in 4 months you have made 4 devotees. And Prabhupada asked, what are they doing? You taught them how to roll chapatis now? Prabhupada asked. So, and Prabhupada said, how could you do such? Not only that, they did Rath Yatra also, where Nelson Square, our Rath Yatra was taller than that, which is a very tall tower. So, and the papers published a newsletter saying that, news item, Hare Krishna startles London. So, Prabhupada told them, see, because of your faith in Guru and faith in holy name, you were all successful, Prabhupada said. So here is an example of disciples taking Guru's instruction as life and soul, going and, preaching and, establishing. One thing that happens in the life of the disciple is, the disciple fondly remembers the superior and strives hard to please the superior. And when the subordinate's desire is to see a smile on the face of the superior. And the superior is pleased, subordinate is satisfied. Then the superior gives further instruction. Then subordinate will do further sacrifices to fulfill that. In this way it goes, it's like a reinforcing thing. Back and forth, it increases. It has a compounded effect. And then great preaching can happen in this world. Like for example, I had sent devotees, brahmacharis from Pune to almost more than a dozen temples, close to 13 or 14 temples. Like Acharya Prabhu came with the team to Calcutta here, Kanpur, our Premanand Prabhu went, now Achyuta Mohan Prabhu is in Varanasi, Dinadayal Krishna Prabhu is in Prayagraj now. Bangalore, we have Raja Krishna Prabhu, and we have another Suvarna Gauriya Prabhu, Swayam Prakash Prabhu are in South Bangalore. And also in Hyderabad, some 18 to 20 brahmacharis now came from Pune to Hyderabad. Dharwad, we have our Sadayagi Prabhu. There is one another devotee in Gokul Dham also, farm also, faithfully serving there. So Sundar Chaitanya Prabhu was sent to Juhu. Sundar Chaitanya Prabhu and team of devotees, they were sent to Juhu also. So in this way, different devotees were sent to different places. So some of these devotees, the leaders amongst these devotees, they were my closest associates, I can say, in Pune. If they were in Pune, they will be running one temple in Pune now. All these people. That was my original plan. I was thinking of sending them to different parts of Pune. But then lot of requests came from different parts of India. Very much strong requests came. There is one Yugla Kishore Prabhu who is preaching in the East Coast now, in Vilaspur and in Champa and all those, Chhattisgarh and all those places with a team of devotees. There are a couple of devotees in Barampur also now, very nicely preaching. So, and in this way we have been sending devotees. These devotees are going out of Pune and they are living in a foreign atmosphere in another temple where the authorities are different. And they have to please those authorities. Just like, imagine if you send a girl from the parents' home to the sasural. In sasural she has to face mother-in-law. It's a different climate, different atmosphere, but her behavior there will depend on how she want to please her mother and father. She knows very well, if I fight with my sasur, that will not please my parents. Sometimes she fights and returns back to her mother's home. Will they be happy? No. Similarly, these people sent to other temples, sometimes they may face challenges. So many phone calls used to come to me. At least for the first 4 to 5 years, they used to face a lot of struggles because of different emphasis. In Pune temple, our emphasis is Shravanam, Kirtana, just to do hearing, chanting, preaching. Be a good devotee, that's the main thing. Be a sincere and serious devotee. In many other places, there are many other expectations. And many other standards, policies, behaviors, etiquettes, culture difference. So, but they went and they adjusted. And I have a group called Bliss, Brahmachari Leaders Inspiring Spiritual Sangha. Bliss. So in this Bliss, we have like 32, now there are about 35 devotees now. Many of them are presidents, vice presidents, are ashram leaders, like Sarashaman Prabhu is in Hyderabad, ashram leader. So now Shadvi Gaurang Prabhu is running the Warangal temple now, also, along with NID this thing. So in the Bliss group, every month it happens, a couple of hours we discuss together. Many of them will bring their challenges, problems, and then I will give our Shastric perspective. And we will understand how do we deal with that. And then others will benefit also, and they will also participate asking questions. Similarly, the younger rung of devotees, we have another group called as Vrinda group. In-station Vrinda in Pune and outstation Vrinda outside Pune. Many of these temples, many of them join in that. That also I do a couple of hours in a month. Why did I keep these forums? For Grihasthas, I have another forum called GLOSS. Grihastha Leaders Outreach Spiritual Sangha. And each of the members of GLOSS are community heads. Like for example, they will be heading like 400 to 500 members in their community. So only such level people are allowed in that. that is about like 20 members in that, 20 to 25 are there in that. That also I do monthly. So community heads, because if community heads are taken care, then the entire community is going to be benefited by that. So I do forums for them. So people who are very closely connected to us, if we send them to another place, their behavior, dealing, and bringing good name will depend on how much they want to please us. For example, if I send one team somewhere, they create some trouble, immediately the leader will call whom? They'll call me only. Correct, no? Like from here, like Nam Prem Prabhu and we had Damodar Prabhu. They were sent to Damodar Govind Prabhu. They were sent to Dhanbad from Calcutta now. Devakan Prabhu called and told me that, oh, these are wonderful devotees. Not only they are good in youth preaching, but they are also getting a land and they are developing a temple eventually, and congregation preaching also they are doing. And he is very happy with the Dhanbad development. I'm going to go to Dhanbad. I think before Yatra I'm coming, I think. For the Yatra, I think, yeah. So the same manner here also, in the Calcutta, there are many senior devotees here. Along with Acharya Prabhu, we had Prem Swarup Prabhu, Nimayanand Prabhu, Mukundalila Prabhu, and who Ananda Bhagavan Prabhu, and Srinitai Prabhu. Who else? Raja Gopinath Prabhu, and Ram Giridhari, Sri Ram Giridhari Prabhu. Ram Giridhari? Sri Ram Raghava Prabhu, all these people. They are very actively preaching to youth here. And similarly, there are other projects which are still connected to Pune, like Raurkela, we have Dasharatya Prabhu, Vishwakirti Prabhu. So when people are going out, if they're going out of Pune to preach and come back, there is not much problem because they are connected to Pune only. But if they have to go and stay in some temple where authority is different, I used to tell them, see, I will keep on giving you inputs on how you should behave there, but you should never take my name that, Radheshyam Prabhu ne bola. You should not say that. I always glorified the local authority and taught these devotees how to align with the local authority. Even if local authority had some flaws or defects and all, I would tell them, Yudhishthira Maharaj could respect Dhritarashtra. When Dhritarashtra went to forest, how much Yudhishthira cried. I asked one boy, imagine you had an uncle like Dhritarashtra and he goes to forest, what he will do? He said, I'll be very happy. Isn't it? Because he and his son hatched so many plots to kill, correct? Pandavas. But we have to learn from Chavana Muni's wife. What's her name? Sukanya. See how Sukanya dealt with Chavana Muni? I said, your authority is not so bad. You have to deal with, you should know the art of dealing with very difficult people also. So therefore, these training programs are aimed at learning tolerance, learning patience, learning to be respectful to all types of devotees. So when we send, in case they go and they become very successful, it is such a great service to ISKCON and Prabhupada. Because these are all Prabhupada's temples. Like Premanand Prabhu's parents went to Kanpur. They saw the 14 acres project and a big temple. And they came to know from Devakananda Prabhu that he is the president of the temple. They were stunned. Because earlier they wanted the boy to come back home and stay with them. After the first time when they went to the project, they told the son, be here only. बहुत अच्छा अच्छा काम कर रहे हो, very good. Many grihasthas glorified Premanand Prabhu to the parents. So I went to his hometown also. I went for Bhagavatam distribution to his hometown. People are so much appreciative of his service in Kanpur. Many of them have visited Kanpur. So in this way, here is an example of how somebody goes to another project and very successfully has, preached and brought people and pleased the local authority, which is a different authority. Correct, no? So why will he please his authority? Because he wants to make sure I am happy. Many times he will tell me that, Radheshyam, I don't want to bring you any pain or displeasure. I want to see that, so he will manage, adjust, bend himself flexibly, he will respect and all those things. So you will see that now They are not my disciples, they are my God brothers, many of them. They are all disciples of Ranath Maharaj. So therefore what I would do, I would call them to GEV with their respective progress reports. So I would tell them that Maharaj will not see in the computer. Make a very nice, what do you call it? A printout, colorful printout. And show your best talents in that. If you have boys who can play with Canva, in Canva you can, how to make very nice things you can make. So they would make the best of the reports, like 15, 20 pages report. So all the booklets, the leader will come with his core team, he would come. Then each team, one by one, the team can meet the Guru and then they can show the report to Maharaj. Maharaj will go page by page and he'll give a pat on the back. And then each of them. So this I have done almost 5 to 6 times till now, in different occasions. Once I called them to Coimbatore when Maharaj had gone there, another time in GV, another time in Chopati, one time when Maharaj came to Pune also, like that 4 or 5 times. So this is my job. My job is, I want to, not only Radhanath Swami's disciples, same with Paramahansa Gopalakrishna Maharaj's disciples. So in those days I told when Yugalakshmi Prabhu that all the disciples should be taken to Delhi and meet Maharaj and show the report to Maharaj. Same with Jayapada Swami's disciples. So they write letter in Bangalore. Many of the devotees, I tell them to write, because Jayapada Maharaj responds to mails also. So they write to their Guru with photos and all the activities and everything. So what we should do, our duty is to see that the disciples get the charging from their spiritual master. Spiritual charging. And you just play, like I told you, postal peon role. You connect the disciples to Guru, Guru to disciples. So in this way we do, then ultimately, ISKCON will just blossom like anything, powerfully in a very big way. So in this way, Prabhupada told the 3 couples to preach in London. And see, first Prabhupada was preaching in New York. Then from there he went to San Francisco. Then from San Francisco, then he also later on went to LA. Then he started in London, then gradually to Moscow, and then Australia, and then Canada, and many places like that. And then Prabhupada says in one letter, one good soul is good enough, he says. To run a center, how many good souls are required? One, that's all. My Lord, ek aadmi kya kar sakte? May I ask, He says, one good soul is good enough. Because there is one good soul, that one good soul will faithfully practice Krishna consciousness and bring people and shelter people and develop the center. So, therefore, in Krishna consciousness, one good soul is sent to many places. Wherever I sent, I used to call it as a cow-calf principle. You know what is cow-calf principle? So one senior devotee and along with him a group of devotees who are very connected to him, like counselees and like that. So when you send a cow, calves also go with the cow very comfortably. Calves are no problem because they're mother only. Correct, no? So send a group. Many times the cow will call me on phone and say that, Prabhu, we have problems, but all the calves are making a lot of noise. So cow is ready to adjust, but the calf is not ready to adjust. So then I will have a meeting with both cow and calves. Adjust karo, tam se dikshasva. Sometimes they would come running to Pune also. I'll tell them, no problem coming to Pune, but you stay in Pune for a few days and go back. You can go back, yes. Very few have come back to Pune. Many have stayed. 95% of them have stayed. And they have served very nicely. So in this way, these are examples of people who took the instruction to their heart and they successfully fulfilled it. Isn't it? So when we talk about this word apply, this dhyayanta, pujayanta, what is the third word? One should meditate on the instruction given, and one should plan how to expand on the instruction given, and you should find out ways and means to turn that instruction into a reality. Correct, no? So every disciple should do that. Now some of you may have a question, who will give us instruction what to do? So one thing is, in your level, all of you boys, you will see that you are staying in a center where there is a preaching coordinator, there is a overall coordinator, there is also a project manager or somebody, and the brahmacharis are coming. So overall, you all know, apart from everybody, leaders expect that you do a very good morning program, correct, no? That is one expectation they have. Another expectation is you also assist in preaching. So one is Janma Sarthaka Kori, another one, Kara Parabhak. So in Parabhakar, if you can help reach out to the hostel and bring the boys and cultivate them, train them, behave nicely in such a manner that more and more devotees will want to join the center by your good example. Correct, no? Don't, trouble any other devotee in the center. That's one request all leaders have. Please don't trouble yourself, don't trouble others. Huh? So be a good example by which, we should not dissipate our energies by quarreling. Rather, we should utilize our energy in expanding the movement. Correct, no? Because if we quarrel, what happens? I once showed this, some of you might not have seen. See this. Both deers are saying that this whole ground belongs to me. Huh? And some other deers are watching. Hey, jagda kar rahe hain dono. And somebody is coming from a distance, you see. See, such a big ground, they are fighting in the middle, wasting their energy. One. See, in an open ground, they got. See, if two ISKCON devotees are fighting, then Sri Ravi Shankar or some Sadguru, Brahma Kumari, they will come. Correct, na? They will do very good preaching. And these two guys, they fight and, you waste your energy. Correct, no? That is why I tell the boys, even the ISKCON, for example, if they are preaching in the college, let them preach theirs. Let them have their group. We can have, college is oceanic. You just take 10, 15 boys and cultivate. Don't fight with anybody. It's not work. Actually, in Kali Yuga means we have to conserve our physical energy, mental energy, spiritual energy, and release it only when you are confident that releasing is helpful in expanding preaching. Otherwise, don't waste it. We attended one seminar on snakes in GV. So the speaker was telling one interesting thing which I never knew. He says the snake has got one poison packet in which he stores poison. God has given him that poison. He has it. But at the same time, he wants to use this poison only for catching prey. And unnecessarily, he doesn't want to waste it. He conserves it, he keeps it. So, for example, a snake is going on the road, some man is going, the snake feels that he may beat me or kill me, like that he does it. Only he hisses. And naturally, all the people, when they hear the hiss, what they do? They'll run away. So they can't trouble. But still, if somebody is bringing a stick and things like that, the snake still doesn't waste the poison. He just, causes a raw bite. You know what a raw bite means? Without using poison, like that, just hitting. Like that. And then, in case the snake feels that there's a death threat, they're going to kill him, then only he releases poison. So poison is used for defense, and poison is also used for catching prey. Because in the prey's body, if he throws the poison, then the prey dies. Then he can eat. He can swallow like that. And when there is a death threat, then he uses the, Similarly, just like we want to defend ourselves, so all the warriors, they carry, what do you call that? Shield, and they also carry sword. So the sword is our preaching. We have to preach and bring more people. Like knocking down people means knock down their materialistic propensities and make them into devotees and keep making forward progress. Don't get stagnated. Now people to stunt you see now with swords. And what is this one? Chanting the holy name and 4 legs. That is like the shield, yeah. This you have to follow because when they attack you, this will protect you. Correct, no? Like if you are doing strong mornings, that was Janma Sarthukari Parakara Upakar. Correct, no? Both we have to do. But some guys have no time for this. Huh? They say, no, no, Prabhuji, रात को late हो गया, अभी सुबह सो गए, माला नहीं हुआ, like that. Then without the shield, you only go with this one. Then you get attacked. Correct, no? So both we have to do. And so, another aspect of this apply they spoke about is, according to our psychophysical nature, Guru gives a particular type of service. Correct, no? Somebody is fit for doing deity worship service. Like we had two devotees sent to Boston temple, Manmohan Shyam Prabhu and Raghav Kripa Prabhu. So out of that, Manmohan Shyam Prabhu has been a pujari in NVCC temple. Raghav Kripa Prabhu has been a vigorous preacher, youth preacher. So now they both have gone, and Manmohan Shyam Prabhu's qualities are amazing qualities. 2 o'clock in the morning he gets up daily. Whatever time he sleeps at night. The morning waking up time will not change. And once he sits in one place, 16 rounds he'll finish at a stretch. Now he chants 32 rounds. Like before Mangalarati 16 rounds, and after Mangalarati another 16 he finishes. Very coolly he will chant. First class devotee. That's why I have considered him qualified to go to Boston. Because there are already devotees jumping. Prabhuji, I am ready to go to America. I said, but I am not ready to send you. There are many people. I said, you see, Manmohan Shyam Prabhu, your powerful morning program you have, then we can send. Correct, no? And Raghav Prabhu is a very super sincere devotee. Every Bhagavatam class, you will sit him in the front row with his extended neck. You will feel he's going to jump on the lap of the speaker. He's so enthusiastic. So these two fellows we have sent now. But what I have told, yes, you are a pujari, but you also should make an effort to preach. You are a pujari, you definitely get Mahaprasad. Keep it with you. When boys come to temple, give them prasad. Preaching doesn't mean only you have to sit on Vyasasana and give lectures. You can also give some prasad, talk some casually. Because sometimes boys like very simple devotees also. It's not that you have to be a very, very, very great preacher or something. So he's also going to take some program weekly. So in this way, when we, according to psychophysical nature, he is naturally a pujari. But he can also extend his, services to preaching and other things, which can be a secondary activity for him. But for Raghav Kripa Prabhu, the primary activity is preaching. But I told him, but you also should do deity worship, and some washing pots and everything. Because those who are doing white collar service, they should do some menial service also. Otherwise, we can become proud. So, there are 3 types of karma: Vihita karma, Kama karma, Nishidha karma. 3 things. Vihita karma means whatever services are given by your authorities, knowing it's good for you, you should do them. Kama karma means additional things like you want to learn harmonium, you want to learn little Sanskrit, you want to learn mridanga. You should not cut down the services given by your authority. You can learn these things in your own private time or personal time. That's called Kama karma, means activities which you desire to do. Additionally, correct, no? So, then therefore in application, your superiors will become displeased with you if you say that I can't attend the Bhagavatam class because I am learning harmonium now. No, you can't say that. Everybody is attending Bhagavatam, you should come for Bhagavatam. Correct, no? And morning you are not in Japa. Hey, where are you in Japa time? I am attending Sanskrit class. Somebody is teaching. No, you can't do that. You have to do in Rome as Romans do. You have to be with everybody. So when you have some time, personal time in the day, then you can learn those things. So Kamya Karma, and Nishita Karma, completely you have to give up. Nishita Karma means prohibited activities like illicit sex and meat eating, gambling and all those things. So they prepared a very nice PPT with suitable pictures also and very relevant examples. One thing I would have expected from them, additionally than what they presented, we say that after inquiring and hearing, the third thing is application. When you're applying, many students have difficulty in this only. So how do we transform the knowledge heard theoretically into application? So one last thing I will show, and then you all can go for prasadam. It's late for you now. It's called as LCD. You see here. How to transform knowledge into realization. See, right now I am sleeping 2 hours in the afternoon. No, I'm not sleeping. I'm just example. I'm just taking an example. Huh? See, learn. So how do you learn? Commit the learn into commit. Read that, one of you. Take the mic.
Right now, I'm sleeping 2 hours in afternoon. Desire strongly to give up lower nature.
That's the first thing. We should have an intention. Huh? Create that intention very strongly. Then?
Plan systematically to change. Smart plan.
You know smart plan, no? Specific, measurable, achievable, realistic, and time bound. Huh? So you have to know. That means what, no? What kind of, okay, what is a smart plan? How am I going to bring it about? Which means, okay. Rama, 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 Hare, Hare. Yeah. So now instead of sleeping 2 hours in the afternoon, I will sleep only 1 hour 45 minutes for 1 week. Then next week, only 1.5 hours. Then 1 hour 15 minutes. Then 1 hour, like that. And gradually I'll make it zero, sleeping in the daytime. So in this way, make a plan of 3 months plan to gradually come from 2 hours sleeping to 0 hours of sleeping in the day. Correct, no? That's actually an example of a plan. And another plan you can make that why am I sleeping in the afternoon? Because there is another student also who sleeps in that room. When I go to the room, I am also inspired, motivated by him. Correct. So I will never go to that room. Instead of that, I will stay in the college library only. I will go to the silent zone in the college library and study. Like that, you can make a plan. So what all you have to avoid and what to do, those are all coming in smart plans. Planning, yeah. And also, I will not eat too heavy lunch. Lunch, I will keep it a bit lighter. So that after lunch, I don't feel sleepy. This is another thing. And another thing, I will make sure that night I will sleep early. 9 to 3 or 9:30 to 3:30. I will stick to that because I sleep 9 to 3 and I can be active 18 hours a day. I don't feel tired at all in the daytime because night sleep 9 to 3 is very, very valuable. Morning 3 o'clock when I get up, I feel very fresh. And I can be fresh all day because the early sleeping keeps you fresh all day. The later you go after 10, that much you'll be dull all day. We should try to sleep early. So I will sleep early. I will eat less lunch. I won't eat very heavy. I will stay in the library and study in the silent zone. And I will make sure I don't go to the room where one or two devotees are sleeping. There is a sleeping room. I don't go there. And also, in the daytime sleep, I may not be able to immediately stop it, but I'll try to reduce it, little by little. Not just a little by little. Every week, I'll reduce 15 minutes, like that. Something. This is all smart plan, okay? And then third one, here lectures. It's not coming here, okay. Here lectures and sutra is learning, I have written. What is sutraizing? After hearing lectures, you can make your own sutras from the lectures and make it, put it on this, on your notice board or something. Keep watching it. What all to do. I told you, early to bed and early to rise makes you healthy, wealthy and wise. That's one sutra, right now. So like that sutras, you can, based on the lecture what you heard, you can make acronyms or sutras and put it. And then determine to bring about the change by japa. That means every day in Tulsi Arati you can pray to Tulsi Maharani because ye tumhara sharana loy tara vancha. So that vancha can be, you can pray to Tulsi Maharani. Tulsi Maharani, please stop my day sleep. You can pray. Somebody will say, what kind of prayer is this? You're going to Tulsi Maharani, you should ask for entry into Yugal pastime. And you're saying, stop my sleep. No, this is like ABC request now. You can ask. I have prayed many things to Tulsi Maharani. And if you start praying, you will see that within 2 weeks or 1 month, what you prayed will be implemented. Because she is a very powerful fulfiller of the desires of the devotees. So, in this way, you can pray to Tulsi Maharani and chanting japa also you can pray to the divine couple. Please help me to give up the sleep. So these are the things in learn it comes. Now you're going to commit now. What is it? I will not sleep in the afternoon from now. Further, what all you need? Read that.
Utsahan, sincerely and seriously endeavoring with intelligence.
Prabhupada says Utsaha means endeavoring with intelligence. Yeah.
Nishayat, determined, persistent endeavor to put sweat and toil and not give up at any cost.
Why I am saying this? Because you find that many times we make a plan and we fail in the plan. Correct? No? So we need Nishyat. And then?
Dharyat, patience till achieving results.
Yeah, even if we fail, we should not get disheartened. Like for example, from 2 hours you brought it to 1 hour, now brought it to half an hour. Suddenly one day you find you slept 2 hours again. And you feel like giving slap to yourself. But whom will you slap? Isn't it? But you have to be patient. Okay, old habits are coming again. So then let me change. And then?
Prayers for superior help, blessings and God wishes of all.
Good wishes.
Good wishes of all.
Of course, we need God wishes also. So in this way, we can go from commit to do. And then you get realized wisdom here. So from learn to commit these points, and then commit to do these points. So this is very helpful. So I had made this many years ago. There are many things. If somebody becomes angry, then you can also write how to go from being angry to having a Buddha smile always, being peaceful. So you can make similar kind of plan. And also another thing you can plan is, for example, you are unable to balance your material duties and spiritual duties. You fall back on one of the sides. Then how to balance? So all these things, this learn, commit, do will be helpful. See, I have one more thing. This is another very nice thing. How do you bring about self-change? 3 things: attitude, behavior, thinking, how to change it. How to change your attitude, how to change your thinking. I have even a better PPT than this made. I can share with Niman and Prabhu, I think. So how to change your thinking, attitude and behavior. Actually, if you go to, I think you will get it here in my channel, I think. Attitude if you put. I think it will come, I think. That one is there. There is one more. This one. This is part 3, yeah? Okay. There's one more also is there. Part 1, part 2, part 3 is very nice. It's very deep also. Very good seminar it is. Part 1, 2, 3. But there is another one. There is a smaller one. But this 3-part series is also very good. If you get time, you can see that. Otherwise, the smaller one will be even more. Okay. Okay. But I have the PPT which I can share with him, I think. There is one on behavior, attitude, thinking. Very nice. Talk it is. It may be hiding somewhere. But you can, if you see PPT also, you will understand most of it. So, in this way, we can give some helpful hints for application. For example, how do you change your behavior? 3 things. All of you repeat this. Know the right, choose the right, discipline the right. Yeah. So how do you know the right? Scriptures. Study scriptures. Know the right. Tasmat shastra pramanante karya karya vasita. And how do you do the right? By japa. By japa you get determination to stick to the right. And how do you discipline the right? By living in the association of devotees who are highly regulated. In their association, we can also become regulated and disciplined. So we can, so know the right, do the right, discipline the right. Know the scriptures will teach you know the right. Japa will give you determination to stick to right. And devotee association will give you regulation and disciplined lifestyle. by which you can achieve it. Correct? These three. And how do you change your... This is about behavior, which I told you. So to change your behavior, another three things you can remember. Have a role model who has already achieved it. And have peers who will encourage you to do that. Peers will encourage you, and a role model will give you strength, and you make slices like watermelon slices. Don't try to achieve it in one go, in steps. So these three things, anything, any habit you want to change, these are the three steps of habit change. Make it into slices, have a role model, whom you adore. From the role model, you can take many tips and ideas from them. And the peers who are also trying for the same goal, you stay in that association. It's very easy to attain any goal in life. These three things you can remember. Similarly, in thinking, one thing is going from having a positive thinking. So one should self-observation and positive thinking. These two things can completely change your thinking. Self-observation means first you go outside of your body to a point and observe yourself, what type of person you are. So am I a selfish person or a selfless person? Am I angry or peaceful? Am I lazy or am I active? So there are three types of feedback. Self-feedback, peer feedback, superior feedback. In self-feedback, sometimes your ego will not allow you to give feedback to yourself. I'm a good person. Who said I'm not good? Either the ego may say. So peers will give you coolly feedback. You ask a peer, say, honestly tell me, am I lazy or active? He will tell you, you're lazy only. Then you can note down. And superiors also can ask. So from this, see, from peers and superiors and self-feedback, you can write down what you need to change. And so that is self-observation. And thinking, go from negative thinking to positive thinking. Like you go to a garden, you can say, garden is full of bushy, garden is full of thorny bushes, you can say. Or you may come back and say, garden is full of fragrant roses. Which is true? Both are true. But one is choosing to see the thorns, other one is seeing the roses. So you have to change your thinking. Are you going to see the sunny side of devotees? Or are you going to see the bad side of devotees? So these two things. Try to change your outlook to positive and make self-observation. By these two things, you change your thinking. And the last thing, attitude, only one thing you need to change. Take responsibility. That's all. If you don't, generally whenever problem comes, we do like this. Maybe he did, maybe he did. Whenever something good happens, I only did. People do like that. So if you take responsibility, like we say, oh, that guy wasted my 2 hours yesterday night. Don't say like that. You say that, I chose to waste my 2 hours with that guy. Foolishly, I could have finished off in 15 minutes. I wasted 2 hours. So take responsibility for what you do. So you change your attitude by taking responsibility. You change your thinking by self-observation and positive mental attitude. And you change your behavior by 3 things. Know the right, do the right, discipline the right. I have a PPT, I'll give it to you, which you can share it with devotees, I think. I little bit explained it so that it'll be easy for you when you go through the PPT. Shilpa Parki. Now you all take prasad now.